And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that break. Hope you took a moment after a pretty intense finals of MaxPax versus Ragnarok, as we are here with our second broadcast of the day. We are here with OSC King of the Hill number 143. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. As I have to quickly fix something here. Bam, there we go. But yes, we are here with OSC King of the Hill number 143. Unfortunately, we did miss out on the first game. We missed out on Skilless versus NightMare. They were playing during the final game of MaxPax versus Ragnarok, so we missed out on the first one. And as you can see, the first match is in the books. NightMare just took down Skilless 1-0. He is the current King of the Hill. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his challenger. We have the would-be usurper. We have the Finnish Zerg player representing Berserker Esports. It is Mixu. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the current King of the Hill representing Team Abydos. He just played and competed in ESL Open Cup Asia. It is NightMare. There we go. I see some people asking in the chat as to the format of this tournament and who is going to be competing. I don't know. The way this works is that 15 players are pulled together here from a list of otherwise available participants. Players like Bjorn, Dark, MaxPax, Skilless, Spirit, Juanito, Special, NightMare, Mixu, just to name a few, potential participants of this tournament. It is not up to us. It is up to the tournament organizer. Oh my god, as the first probe does go down. Nicely done here by Mixu. But yes, it is decided by Eddie. Eddie, he is the God King of the Hill. He is the kind of puppet master. He pulls the strings behind the scenes on who will be facing who and who steps up next. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting. We don't really know who's gonna be coming up next. What we do know is our best of one is the current matchup before us here. Mixu versus NightMare. Mixu has been on fire recently. He's been performing very well in a World Team League in WTL. Was doing well performing for his team. But can he bring it to NightMare? That's the question. NightMare is one of the best Protoss players in all of South Korea. He is a titan of the scene. He just took down Skilless. Skilless, one of the best Protoss players out there. One of the best Protoss players in Europe. Already brought to his knees. Who else can step up? Who else can stop NightMare? Who can do it? We're here to find out. We are here to find out, as it is going to be a Stargate opener coming out from NightMare. Mixu back at home, going for a hatch gas pool. Nothing too crazy. Third base is on the way. Standard opener from Mixu. Lings are going to be dipping on in, avoiding the first adept. Trying to get a free scout of the main base. No, actually going for some probe damage as well. First Ling goes down. Mixu does dip into the main base, and I believe he will barely miss. Oh no, he sees it anyway. Lings get cleaned up. Overlord does spot the Stargate. So Mixu is now aware of what his opponent is up to. Back across the map, the first adept rocks up as well. Ooh, nice damage done already. 2 drones. Can we get 3? Can we get 4? 3 drones here, and the adept barely gets shut down by the queen. Good positioning by Mixu, but 3 drones is still a good trade here for NightMare. A good amount of damage was done. NightMare moving out here with his adepts. Looking for some counter damage. The first Oracle zooming out across the map. We have a second Oracle behind this as well. Can Mixu keep up? Mixu's third base is actually really late. Interesting. It's a very delayed third base by Mixu. He is going to have a safer kind of queen setup as a result. He has 3 queens here at his natural. Adepts are looking to shade on in. Oof. 1 drone does go down. The Spore not quite done in the main base, so we're looking a little bit vulnerable. But the Oracle does take a lot of hits. We do commit to the shade, and we're getting even more drone damage. This is becoming a little bit too much. The Oracle does go down. That's been 8 drone kills already for 1 Oracle. A decent trade here for NightMare. He goes for the stay strap behind this as well. It's gonna go up. No! Ugh. A massive stasis. 3, 6, 9 drones get stasis alongside 2 Lings. NightMare doing an insane amount of damage early on. Behind this, we're going for a Twilight Council. We're going for charge. No forge. Interesting. The forge is heavily delayed. We'll see if we even get it. NightMare is racing into charge. Adepts once again shading in. Oh, not only getting one drone. NightMare being a little bit careless towards the end here. He has to be careful not to throw too much away. What happened, Skillus? Oh, he died. I should probably update the my bad. I should update the title. My apologies, my apologies. Unfortunately, we missed out on game 1. We missed out, but NightMare did take down Skillus. My apologies. That is why NightMare is up 1-0. As we do have 2 adepts threatening a shade here towards the right-hand side. Oh, Queen's not quite in position. No Lings either. NightMare just not slowing down at all. The tempo that NightMare is setting here is pretty insane. Just continuing to send wave after wave of adepts. Oh my god, shading into the natural as well. Mixu having a hard time keeping up. Initially it was okay, but over time, this is getting out of hand. As we shade into the main base, we get another drone. 12 in total. And charge is now kicking in. Charge is done, and we are just sending a massive wave of Zealots across the map. I believe we don't have a Roach Warren. This Roach Warren is heavily delayed. At the latest, we get the Roach Warren at 5 minutes. It's almost 6:30. And without Roaches, these Zealots may just be too much. There are Queens and Lings to defend, but Charge Zealots, oh, they like Lings and Queens. They like them, Papi. They just want hugs. They could have gone for the army, but no, the Zealots, they turn back around. They're going for the hatchery instead. Third base is going to go down. Oh, as I say that, maybe I spoke too soon. The Queens, they come in for transfuse. Zealots, they go for the fight with the Queens instead. Do we have enough transfuses to keep the Queens alive? The boys, they have to be pulled. The Queens are falling. Another wave of reinforcements come in, and this is just too much. NightMare snowballing out of control. GG gets called. And NightMare takes down Mixu. Holding on to his crown, holding on to his throne. GG. GG, well played. Again, unfortunately, we weren't able to cast game 1. We weren't able to cast NightMare versus Mixu, but that is now his 2nd win on the board. The way this works, it's a King of the Hill. The winner stays on. The loser is eliminated. And it's on Eddie to send some pro players towards NightMare to try to take him down, to try to bring him down. Mixu having a hard time there, just cutting corners, cutting a lot of corners, staying on just Ling Queen. Over time, the constant adept aggression there from NightMare just snowballed out of control. The oracles as well. Initially, Mixu was keeping up, but then we saw a massive stasis trap going off. We saw just more drones going down. And Mixu, he had a very late Roach Warren. Just because of all the chaos, because of all the aggression, I imagine the Roach Warren did slip Mixu's mind, and he was just punished for it with a bit of a 1-2 punch. Oh, let's go. As we have a challenger, we have another king. Another king from another region is going to be rising up. The king from the sea. Mixu may have fallen, but we have another Zerg player instead. We have MeomaikA, the king of the sea. The best Zerg player, the best player in all of Southeast Asia. Oh, let's go. It's been too long. Been too long since it's been like 3 days. Been too long since I've casted some MeomaikA. I need it. I need it. Let's go. MeomaikA, a very unique player, a very aggressive player as well. He has his own playstyle. He's very fond of the Hydralisks, of Ling Hydra here in this matchup. He can even go Mutaplay as well. He'd be hyper aggressive with 12 pulls. MeomaikA is just at times a very difficult player to read, and because of that, I do think that he can thrive here in a best of 1 format. Like even in longer series, in best of 3s and best of 5s, we've seen MeomaikA take down players like Carson. We've seen him take down players like Showtime as well, players like Spirit. MeomaikA, he has these really strong power spikes, especially if his opponent isn't too familiar with how MeomaikA is playing. Like he can have some very high highs. We'll see. We'll see what he can bring to the table. as we are getting ready for our next game. And they're just getting ready for their maps. So the way that this works is it's a best of 5, and the king of the hill is able to veto one map. One map is what the king can veto, and the challenger is able to pick the map from there. They can pick their their staging ground for how they want to take down the king. So the challenger has a pretty big advantage. Has a big advantage in just picking the map that they want. For the most part, picking the map they want. For the most part. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this does turn out. Oh, also, my apologies. Thank you so much to the reverse zoom. The reverse, is that not Flash? Is that the Flash? Is that what that is? But thank you so much to the reverse zoom for subscribing with Twitch Prime. It was at the very end of the broadcast, so I didn't really get to give a proper shout out because I had to quickly set up all the overlays and get ready for the stream. Sorry, get ready for the next tournament. So I didn't get to give you a proper shout out, but thank you so much for subscribing. We appreciate it. We appreciate all the support. We appreciate the love. Thank you. The explanation, yeah, all good. Yo, I can see I can see a potential player in the chat as well. NightPhoenix in the chat, the Ukrainian Protoss. Oh, hello, Bobby. Hello. Welcome. Quack. I'm unfamiliar with how the tournament works. All good. Yeah, it's a very unique format. It's a lot of fun. What it means is we basically go through a lot of players. As you can imagine, 15 players, and we just churn through them one after the other. It's a lot of fun. It can be really dynamic and really chaotic as well. And there have been these moments as well. There have been these very special instances where a king rises up and they refuse to give up their throne. Recently, a couple of months ago, MaxPax, he won all 15 games. MaxPax, he started as the king of the hill. 15 players rocked up, and big names as well, like Special and Spirits and NightMare as well. MeomaikA. 15 players rocked up, and they could not bring down MaxPax. It was insane. It was crazy. It was crazy. So yeah, things like that can happen. Things like that, they can happen. Oh boy. As we are getting ready here for our next matchup. Oh, just making sure that it's the correct color. Just making sure, and here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Altitude, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing Team Abydos. It is NightMare. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the current challenger. We have the would-be usurper himself, the King of the Sea, representing Team Gosu. It is MeomaikA. With a very memey name. I'm shaking my head. I have to set up an alias. I have to set up an alias and casting tool. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. As we are diving into this. Of course, NightMare already has 2 wins under his belt. 2 pretty big names, both Skilless and Mixu. Can he be brought down? So far, MeomaikA, interesting. He's not just going for a pool first, he's going for a pool into a gas geyser as well. Into a delayed hatchery. So this is looking a little bit aggressive here from MeomaikA. He's going to have link speed a lot faster, or gas a lot faster. This could be for link speed. This could be for a very fast lair as well. MeomaikA is a very aggressive player, a very unorthodox player. So something like a fast lair is not out of the realm of possibility. Meanwhile, back at home, NightMare just going for his gate expand, or sorry, gate cyber expand. So very safe economic opener from NightMare. Lings are moving out because it was a pull first. These Lings could threaten the pylon here. We can see the Adept is being chronoed out. The Adept should make it out in time. Should make it out. Meanwhile, MeomaikA, interesting. So, with his first 100 gas, he gets link speed, and he doesn't pull out. He doesn't pull out of gas. He's continuing to mine gas. So this could be for something like a fast lair. As MeomaikA does pull back those links upon seeing the adept with that overlord, he's not gonna try to risk anything too much. Does pull back in the end. So far, just getting his 2 bases up and running. Should be working on his 3rd base momentarily as well. Oh, meanwhile, NightMare. So what's important is that a lot of these Korean players, they're familiar with MeomaikA. They know him. They play on the ladder. They hit each other on the ladder often enough, and they play a lot in tournaments as well. NightMare mixing it up and going for a robo opener is really interesting. With this, he can go into a disruptor drop. He can go into a fast Colossus. He can go for a 2-base Immortal all-in. He's got options. But this is very out of the norm. As MeomaikA doesn't scout the opener, he is pushed away. He didn't see the robo. He saw the pylon, but that's kind of it. Oh, is he going to lose? Doesn't lose the overlord, just barely. Does keep it alive, and it is going to be for a disruptor drop. So, this is usually a really risky thing to do because you don't really have much of a map presence. You don't have oracles to scout. You don't have oracles to harass. You don't have adepts to move out. Or big stalkers. And this does slow down a lot of your other tech as well. So this can be a really risky maneuver here from NightMare, but it can pay off, especially with juicy novas, with juicy connections. As we do have the prism on the way. Meanwhile, across the map, it is a fast lair. Very fast lair coming out from MeomaikA. That was what all that gas was for. Oh, so it's not going to be 2-base Hydra. I was wondering if we were going to go for a fast Hydra Den or a fast Spire. A fast Spire would actually shut this down. It would completely shut down the prism. As it has to make it across the map, and oh, did you get 1 drone? Good Ling and Queen positioning here from MeomaikA. He is keeping up for the most part. But this could be for a Nidus all-in. This could be for fast Roach speed. I'm very curious. Adept does shade in, does see the fast lair. Oh, and NightMare, just like against Mixu, he's pulling apart his opponent with Adept Harass. 7, 8 drones go down. The Prism has arrived. We don't even have the Disruptor here, but we're just pulling MeomaikA apart. 9 drones, that's already an insane amount of damage. We're gonna get more. 10, 11. Oof, 11 drones go down. MeomaikA's forced all in. He's not re-droning. He's making nothing but roaches and links. He's sending everything across the map. Meanwhile, NightMare, he still has the Disruptor back at home. And MeomaikA hasn't seen it. He doesn't know. He checks for a 3rd. There is no 3rd. This is not the time to all in. Disruptors are revealed. I know. A couple of links do get shaved off. But against like 2-base Disruptor like this, I don't think we can commit to an all-in. Yeah, we can see MeomaikA is droning. He's droning up back at home. NightMare, he just has so many units to work with. He has an Immortal. He's working on a Colossus as well. MeomaikA stuck at home, has an army that he can't really use. Show us those Purification Novas. Disruptors are looking for some jobs. They're looking for some connections. So far, MeomaikA has done a good job at keeping up and up. Oof. Big connections. 7 drones go down and a good chunk of links. He did lose a Disruptor, but that's already a lot of damage. And NightMare, he's pretty safe back at home. MeomaikA going for a counterattack. Oh, he is looking for maybe a denial on the 3rd. I don't think that... Oh, no. No, check! He needs to check, Papi. MeomaikA, he checks the linear 3rd, but he doesn't check the triangular 3rd. He doesn't know. Nova goes off, takes down a drone. MeomaikA, he doesn't have eyes on the 3rd base. Which means it is going to get up and running. Behind this, we're just getting to more Roach production. MeomaikA getting ready for an assault. And this can work. You know, NightMare, he's in a way exposing himself by moving out here, expanding, taking this third base. MeomaikA has potential with this push. As 2 more drones go down. MeomaikA checks. He does now get eyes on the third base. He sees the Colossus. Overcharge is going to be available as well. Yeah, and MeomaikA is going all in. He's getting ready for one big push. Up! Oh no! 4 more drones go down. Not like this. MeomaikA barely has any workers left. It's all or nothing here for Meo. And what do we have at home to defend? We have a Colossus. We have enough energy for force fields. No Ravagers. That's really important to bear. Okay, there we go. I was gonna say that without Ravagers, these force fields, they can just do so much here for NightMare. Another Nova goes off. Another Disruptor comes out defensively back at home. We have 2 shield batteries. We have an overcharge. A big shot does connect with the roaches. And yeah, GG gets called. There just isn't enough. NightMare takes down the King of the Sea, and he takes his 3rd win. He's still our King of the Hill. GG. GG, well played. MeomaikA going for a very aggressive style, very all-in style. Unfortunately, was slowed down just time and time again by the harass. The Adept harass initially was insane, followed by the Disruptor harass, of course, as well. NightMare just all over Meo, just like against Mixu as well. Very similar, very similar. Oh. And yeah, with that, NightMare takes down another opponent. And the question becomes, who's up next? Who is up next? Oh boy, who haven't we seen in a while? I did see earlier, some people were asking for some Polish players. Typically, we have at least one Polish Protoss player. Whether it's Geralt, whether it's Krystianer, whether it's like Rodzin or Ziomek. It's typically there's typically a Protoss representative. I can't remember the last time there was an OSC King of the Hill without a Polish Protoss player. But we'll see. We'll see. We have our next opponent. Oh my god. We're just getting nothing but ZVPs. Okay. A player that I haven't casted in a while. It's been a couple of weeks. The last time I casted this player, he eliminated Dark from the OSC mid-season playoffs. It was a wild upset, a crazy result. I'm very happy to see more of him. Up next is YoungYakov. Oh, let's go. YoungYakov. It's been too long since I've casted him. I was worried that maybe he retired. I was worried that maybe he stepped away from the game. But I'm happy to see him here once again. Oh, let's go. A lot of young talent in Europe, and YoungYakov is one of them. Definitely, he's definitely had a couple of spikes in his career, has taken down some big names from time to time. Can he take it to NightMare? That's the question. Can he do it? My favorite theme of OSC King of the Hill is Nicoract always taking down Beyond. Yeah, Nicoract, he is a TVT sniper. Nicoract, he is, it's always a lot of fun. Always a lot of fun to see him against Beyond. Beautiful. Nicoract versus Beyond is always a good time. Always a good time. Oh. And here we go. We have our map of choice. Again, Challenger picks. The Challenger does pick the map. Oh boy. And it's going to be on Babylon. Babylon, Poppy. I should also message some people as well. Because I may have a co-caster. I may have a co-caster jumping on at some point tonight, at some point. I won't have to solo cast anymore. Oh, it'll be amazing. Let's go. Soon TM, soon TM. We'll have another Duckling on to help me out. We'll have another Duckling. Until then, we're jumping into our next series. We are jumping on in. And spawning. In the bottom right-hand corner of Babylon, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing Team Barbados, the current King of the Hill with 3 wins under his belt. It is NightMare. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. Oh, going for a 15 hatch. You love to see it. We have the blue Zerg player representing CSO Esports, the current challenger. It is YoungYakov. Here we go. Yeah, we do have that 15 hatch opener here from YoungYakov into, I imagine, a 15 pool. We did see earlier that Ragnarok was playing around with a different variation, going for a 15 hatch into a faster Overlord, into a gas geyser instead. But I believe this should be a spawning pool coming up from YoungYakov. Should be, yeah, on the way. 15-15 from our Zerg player. This does mean that the gas is going to be delayed here for YoungYakov, but you don't really need gas that early on in this matchup. Link speed, not the most impactful of upgrades. So we are getting into this. And NightMare, he does scout and he confirms the faster spawning pool. He's aware of the opener. And he's just getting into his own gate expander back at home. And we've been seeing NightMare just styling on some Zerg players today. Tonight even. Both MeomaikA and Mixu, they both fell to the aggression, to the adept aggression. Just NightMare just not slowing down, not stopping, not giving them any breathing room. Adepts left and right. Continuing to shade into so many mineral lines. And yeah, Mixu and Meo, they had a really hard time keeping up. They were crippled before they could really get going. We'll see if YoungYakov is up to the task. We'll see if he can keep up with the speed of NightMare. I want to believe. I want to believe. Back at home, NightMare going to be picking his tech of choice. We have been seeing him mix it up. We saw a Stargate opener. Last game, we saw a Robo opener. Here on Babylon, oh, he's going for the trifecta. He's going for the Twilight Council. What does he do in the next ZVP? Oh, Cannon Rush. Oh, I see. So with this Twilight Council opener, it could be a multitude of different things. It could be for Glaive Adepts. It could be for a Dark Shrine opener as well. We'll keep an eye here on the production, on the gas as well, to get a read on what NightMare wants to work towards. Oh, there we go. Robo is thrown down. I'm feeling a Dark Shrine. I'm feeling DTs, but we'll see. We shall see. As we aren't pulling out of gas, meanwhile across the map, ooh, we do have the Adept harassing. Trying to get a couple of drone kills. So far, nothing. And it is going to be Glaives. We do pull out of gas a little bit later, but we pull out nonetheless. Glaives are on the way. And now there are different variations of Glaive Adepts. We have 4-gate Glaive Adepts, or we can go all in and go 6-gate Glaive Adepts. We saw NightMare go 6 gates earlier today, if you remember. Earlier today in ESL Open Cup Asia. For now, only 4 gateways from NightMare. Overlord is diving in for YoungYakov, and he is going to get a full scout of the main. He's going to see the Twilight Council. He's going to see it researching and being chronoed as well. So he's going to be able to deduce that it is Glaive Adepts. There we go. Immediately back at home, Roach Warren is thrown down for YoungYakov at around the 3-minute 55 mark, or 50 mark. So really good timing for that Roach Warren. It is going to be done in time for that first wave. Second gas geyser is being taken. Spine Crawler being thrown down as well. So YoungYakov taking this very seriously. And he should. Because we're pulling back into gas. Why are we pulling back into gas? Is this going to get scouted? I don't know if it will. It's a Dark Shrine. Uh-oh. So it is going to be Glaive Adepts with DTs as well. Here we go. The first wave of Adepts are already across the map. Do we have Spores? A Spore Crawler is on the way at the natural at least. So YoungYakov, he's aware of the possibility. He's getting ready, at least at the natural. But what about his fringe bases? What about his third? We do go for a warp in into the main base at depths. They get pushed away at the third, but in the main, they get into the mineral line. The first couple of drones are going down. Ay, ay, ay. 5 drones do fall. Not just that, but NightMare, he's also confirming the lack of detection. There is no lair either. Once the DTs rock up, they can kill this third base. Decent surround here with these lings. Roaches are on the way. But damage is being done. As the prism is being forced back. The DTs, they haven't hit the field yet. They just now got warped in. They're waddling across the map as we speak. Adepts are still threading a shade into the natural. YoungYakov, he's lost a lot of workers. He's down to 31 drones. And if the DTs wanted to, they can focus down and they can kill this hatchery. Let's see, for now. DTs, they haven't spotted. YoungYakov, he does see it ahead of time. He does see them coming, but they're going straight for the queens. They're going straight for the spore. Spore is going to go down. We can see another spore is going to be repositioned here. Oh, the whole position. The whole position micro here from YoungYakov. He does keep these DTs at bay for a little bit longer. Oh, he does shut one of them down. Very nice moves. Very nice moves here out of YoungYakov. Meanwhile, we have another DT slipping into the natural. No. Drones are falling. 7, 8 drones go down. And the DT here at the third base is still getting even more damage done. Again, YoungYakov, he only had 1 spore at the start of this, and he was pulled apart. You can see NightMare happily on 3 bases, on a solid worker count on 58 probes. He's transitioning into Blink and +1. Looking at the units lost tab, 17 drones went down. More than a mineral line. That is enough damage here to get NightMare into a really good position. Meanwhile, YoungYakov is going for his lair. He's trying to resaturate his bases, taking his gases. He's going to attempt to macro out of this. Oh, interesting. He's going to be knocking down these rocks as well. Making sure they don't come into play later on. I'm loving the foresight here of YoungYakov. Working towards his Bailey Nest, Evo Chamber. Like, everything here is normal from YoungYakov. It's just all very late. Just because he's had to drone up so heavily to catch back up. Blink Stalkers have arrived. That's a second Robo on the way. And a Robotic Spade. We're getting into either double Colossus or double Disruptor production. Pick your poison. NightMare is setting up for either one. Oh. NightMare. He's even working on a 4th base before YoungYakov can even think about his own 4th, before it's even thrown down. So NightMare just getting perpetually ahead in the economy. And YoungYakov can't really do anything about it. He does have a lot of lings. He could try and go for a cancel. Let's go. Lings are pushing out across the map.
They're in your base, killing your drones.
YoungYakov, he's a diva enjoyer. As the DTs do cancel the 4th base of YoungYakov. Meanwhile, the Lings don't check the 4th of NightMare. Oh, YoungYakov, he hasn't seen it. He doesn't know. He is not aware as he is forced back. And we can see NightMare is actually being a little bit greedy. He's cutting some corners. He's going for double Disruptors. Oh my god, he's just skipping Colossus and going straight for Disruptor production. Really risky move. It means that he doesn't have any consistent splash damage. He's going to be heavily reliant on these Purification Novas connecting. He does threaten the main army here. What does threaten YoungYakov? Eventually getting his 4th base up and running. Meanwhile, NightMare, he's already got his own. He's on 69 probes. Nice. Ideal number. YoungYakov, he does check the southern fourth base, but again, he didn't get eyes on the northern one. He's not entirely aware of the economic position of his opponent as he's rotating over towards the right-hand side. And now he should finally get an eye on or a read on things. As he sees the fourth base, he sees the cannons and the shield batteries as well. At this point, nothing can really be done about this base. Even Baneling Rumbai is going to have a hard time getting into the mineral line. And Yakov is working on his infestation pit, going to be taking towards Hive. He has a decent army. What I will say is that if NightMare, especially because he doesn't have any Colossus, if he pushes onto creep, there is a world where YoungYakov can swallow up his army. He can get a really good engagement, a really good surround, and NightMare can take down. YoungYakov, he can take down NightMare. He can take a fight. Not head on though. Not like this. He needs a surround. He needs a good engagement. NightMare is pushing on forward, shaving off a couple of units here and there. YoungYakov back. Hive now on the way. Vipers will change things if we can get there. The big if. Oh no. I should have known with +1 shields. We have a Stargate on the way. NightMare. He's taking up even further. It looks like he's getting ready for Sky Toss. I feel it. I can feel it, Papi. Oh boy. Here we go. Tumors are going to get taken out. Zealot Rumbais are being cleaned up as well. You can see NightMare just focusing on clearing up all this creep. Just really maintaining his position. We do see Novas are going to zone back YoungYakov. He is going to get forced away. Overseer does dive in. He does see the Stargate. That should be a tell. Here we go. 2 more Stargates and a fleet beacon on the way. These haven't been spotted by YoungYakov, but hopefully that one Stargate was enough to really tip him off. He's going for a Hydra Lurker. I don't know about this. Hydra Lurker Viper can work very well against a low amount of carriers, and it can work well against ground toss. But if the carrier count hits critical mass, if we get up to like 5 or 6 carriers, then Hydra Lurker Viper, it can struggle. And struggle. Here we go, as we do recheck. We get into the main, we see the additional Stargates. Hopefully we throw down a Spire. As NightMare is pushing out. He does want to trade. Rumbai going to be distracting YoungYakov for a moment. And YoungYakov, he wants to try to set up a surround, but there are so many Archons. Oh my god! As Novas are going to be going off. The Disruptors are looking a little bit exposed. One of them does go down. Meanwhile, hey, the Zealot Rumbai just doesn't stop. You get a Prism into the main, which is going to get shut down. NightMare is going to take down the southern base. These Archons, they trade so well against those Lings. Roaches are getting on top of them. But Novas are pushing them away. Oof. Massive connections onto the Roach Ravager. And NightMare, he can take this fight. He can clean up this army. At the same time, the Zealot Rumbai is getting out of hand. The Wall of Spines went down. The base is going to go down. And before we can even think about Skytoss, GG gets called. NightMare takes down YoungYakov and continues to be our king of the hill. GG. Ugh. NightMare bullying all these Zerg players. Mixu, MeomaikA, and YoungYakov, all of them do fall at the hands of NightMare. Oh boy, GG, well played. Again, we were working towards Skytoss. It was on the horizon, but we didn't get there. We didn't even need it. Didn't need it, buddy. Aye, aye, aye. GG. And with that, that is the 4th win. 4 wins here for NightMare already. Oh my god. Who's next? Who can step up? Hopefully not a Zerg. Can we send someone else his way? Can we send out a Terran or a Protoss? Oh. Interesting. Okay. Again, another player that I haven't casted recently. It's been a while. I miss him, Bobby. I miss him. It isn't going to be a Zerg player. It is going to be a different player entirely from the land of Romania. And that should be a tell. There aren't too many active Romanian players anymore. Not anymore. There used to be more of them. Back in the day. I'm just double checking his team because I know that he's been is he on a new team? I didn't even see this announcement. Oh my god. I need to get ready. As we are getting ready for our next series, it is going to be the Romanian Terran player CuKu. CuKu, Bobby, CuKu. I know that for a long time he was on Team Roddy. When did he join? He's on Red Pack right now. I did not see that announcement. Okay. On a new team. Let's go. So we have a PVT. We have a PVT before us. Oh boy. And if a Zerg can't bring down NightMare, can a Terran? Can a Terran? That is the question. Boy. I'm diving into my memory bank. So it's been a while. It's been a couple of months actually. A couple of months since I last casted CuKu. And I remember him being really aggressive. I remember him being hyper aggressive in TVP, going for 2 base all-ins, going for 3 racks openers as well. Or, sorry, 3 racks builds. I remember CuKu being hyper aggressive. Little does he know, NightMare, he just came off of 2-0ing Gumiho. A couple of hours ago, we were casting ESL Open Cup Asia, and NightMare, he 2-0'd Gumiho, he 2-1 Future. NightMare, I almost want to say his best matchup is PVT, so can CuKu do what Gumiho couldn't? Can he take a map? Can he take down the Tyrant King of the Hill? Oh. He's ruthless, Papi, he's ruthless. Showing no mercy, no mercy. Let's go. As you can hear the beeps, we're loading in. Could be Night End. I miss Night End. Night End, the voice of an angel. The voice of an angel. I miss him. I miss him so much. Night End. He used to be active back in the day. I haven't seen him in a long time. But here we go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the current King of the Hill, with 4 wins under his belt. It's a lot of wins. Representing Team Abydos, it is NightMare. It's Night. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Romanian Terran player representing his new team, Team Red Pack Esports. It is CuKu. Here we go. Oh boy, this is gonna be a tough one. Definitely a tough one here. NightMare, no slouch in this matchup in PVT. But I'm sure CuKu has something up his sleeve. I'm sure. Oh my god. Never mind whether or not CuKu has anything up his sleeve, because mate, NightMare, he's not wearing any sleeves at all, Papi. It's all out. It's all out. It's all in the open. Going for a proxy gateway. There it is. The gateway is thrown down. So with this, I'm pretty sure NightMare, he's going to make a Zealot back at home. And this should be lined up with the Cyber Core to make the Adept across the map, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see when he does throw down that Cyber Core. There we go. First Zealot is on the way. So this isn't like hyper I was gonna say not hyper. It is aggressive. This isn't like all in or anything like that. The way this works is that NightMare is going to be snowballing with gateway units. First, Zealot is going to move out across the map. It's going to meet up here with the Adept or Stalker, which is made once the Cybercore is finished. And then we can just keep on warping in. The goal to deny the low ground CC, to snowball out of control, to maybe even get some damage done up here in the main base. Now, CuKu scouts and he confirms the build. He confirms that, hold up, something's wrong, something is missing. And he's getting ready in his main base. Bunker is on the way. Zealot is spotted. CuKu was setting up for a Rax expand, but his CC is going to be delayed. It's going to be here on the high ground, so CuKu is forced to be a little bit inefficient with his build, but he's going to be safe. He is going to be safe. There we go. The Stalker is on the way. NightMare, he did see the bunker on the high ground, so the jig is up. Like, he knows that his opponent is getting ready, and he's actually not making use of this gateway. Huh. Okay. I guess he's waiting for warp gates. NightMare's, he's just gonna be chilling. He's just gonna be chilling. Proxy has been scouted. CuKu does find the gateway out on the map. And NightMare, he's just throwing down a robo back at home. It's fine. I guess, again, because NightMare, he saw that there was already a bunker on the high ground, that his opponent was already reacting, and there was no CC on the low ground, he's just transitioning out of this. With this robo opener as well, very safe opener from NightMare, he can actually go a couple of different directions. He can throw down a third gateway and go for a Warp Prism, and he can be hyper aggressive with, you know, pseudo blink with a Warp Prism. Or he can go into a fast robotics bay and go into fast Colossus production. He's got options. Meanwhile, across the map, the Zealot does scout. Confirms the Marines. Confirms the Mass Marine as well as the base that is about to be taken. There it is. We are going for the Warp Prism first, so NightMare's having some fun. He's going to be very aggressive here. With this Warp Prism, he has access to the main base, but is going to be losing that proxy gateway. Oof. Gateway is going to be depowered. And I believe we only have one gateway back at home. Yeah, this is really disjointed out of NightMare. There it is. As he's going for the robotics bay. Again, this will give him access to fast Colossus. Meanwhile, across the map, we do see the prism being set up. If we wanted to, we can even, like, repower this just to warp in additional units. But no, we just load up, go into the main, and we'll see what we can get done. See what we can pick off. Not just economic damage, by the way. He scouts the additional Raxes as well. Is aware of the 3-1-1. 5, 6 SCVs, 7 SCVs go down. Ooh, is going to lose a Stalker. A little bit of a misstep there from NightMare. Loses a second Stalker as well. Again, a bit of miscontrol. But nicely done here by CuKu. But I mean, I say that. I mean, he killed 2 Stalkers, but still lost 8 SCVs. So I don't know if I want to say nicely done, as this is quite a lot of economic damage actually, and it's getting out of control. It could be worse. It could be 4 Stalkers, but CuKu's all in. He's just going all in. He doesn't care anymore. He's like, you know what? You can have my main base. You can have my SCVs. You can have my mineral line. I'm just sending everything across the map. But boys are being pulled. What little is left. And what's he going to run into? There's not a lot at home to defend. We have 1 Colossus. We're recalling back home. The tanks are getting in range. They're getting in position. Overcharge is going to be popped. Oh, if the tanks go down, that's going to be the end of this push. And the tanks, they're going down. Ugh. CuKu is down to 17 SCVs. 17 workers. Ay, ay, ay. NightMare, the Colossus came out just in time to defend, and he's even going for Colossus drop harass. There's nothing left. Leave the Terran alone, Papi. There's no more SCVs to kill. As NightMare's just getting his third base up and running. Getting his production up and running as well. Scan takes down the Observer, but the Colossus has arrived. There is no stim, so there's no danger for this Colossus. He can just swipe away. That's a lot of hull damage, to be fair. But NightMare shouldn't allow this to die. He shouldn't allow this to die. He shouldn't allow this to die. No! No, Papi! No, the Colossus goes down. Oh my god. Who needs Stim? Yeah, Stim, it's overrated, mate. Vanilla Marines, that's all you need. As CuKu does take down the Colossus, zones away the Prism, NightMare getting a little bit cavalier, a little bit overzealous with his job. I mean, he's still fine back at home, but that was a... that was a brutal loss. Regardless, we have more Colossi, you know, we have a second and a third Colossi. We have shield batteries, we have overcharge. NightMare should still be fine. As CuKu is pushing out, he's got 3 tanks. To be fair, that Prism is getting very low. If the Prism gets sniped, we won't be able to juggle the Colossus anymore. Oh! Good shots. First Colossus almost goes down. Liberator has arrived. You can see the Zelda army is crumbling. The tanks, they don't go down. NightMare, he's in a lot of trouble. CuKu is gaining ground. He may have been all in this entire time, but hey, he's making it work. Oh god, good juggling from NightMare. This time keeping the Colossi alive. Oh, I spoke too soon! Oh my god. Take care of your Colossus, Papi. Take care. As the Liberators are going to be pushing this army back, there's no anti-air. Oh! There we go. We do warp in a wave of Stalkers. CuKu pushing on forward. Cutting off the third base from the natural. DT comes in! The DT! Do we have a scan? Tank goes down. Oh. We do barely get the scan off. One DT goes down, but we have another ready to go in. CuKu, he doesn't really have too much energy left. Okay, he's gonna have one scan in a couple of seconds. NightMare is collapsing on this army. Charge is done. GG gets called, and NightMare will take down the Romanian Terran. GG, oh my god. GG, well played. Congratulations to NightMare. That was a little bit closer than I think we really expected. A little bit closer. Oh god. CuKu almost pulling off the all-in. The quote-unquote 2-base all-in. He had like 17 SCVs. Didn't really have too much of an economy to speak of. But yeah, almost caught NightMare with his pants down, but we saw that he just barely had enough here to defend. With the warping of Stalkers, with the DTs as well. GG, well played. And NightMare. Can anyone stop this man? Can anyone stop this man? So far, none of the Zergs have. We did try a Terran, and to be fair, a very aggressive Terran, to be fair. Who else do we have in store? Skillus couldn't do it either. We didn't get to cast it, but Skillus also went down to NightMare. Who are we sending out? Oh my god. He's in the chat. And he needs your support. He needs your support. We have the Indian... We're going back to the Zergs. The Indian Zerg player. Let's go. It's going to be Demi. It is going to be Demi. And can he succeed where so many other Zergs did fail? Best of luck, Papi. Best of luck. Oh boy. Here we go. Oh. Your energy and enthusiasm while streaming is infectious. It's always a joy to tune in and be a part of the stream. Oh, thank you. Do appreciate it. I mean, I enjoy casting. Right? I enjoy casting. Thankfully, if I didn't, I'd be in a lot of trouble. But thank you. I appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying your time here. To be fair, I do smudge sometimes when I'm laddering. Whenever I'm streaming ladder sessions, that's when the smudge comes out. That's when the we can have a hard time against Protoss, Papi. But when casting, it's different. It's like, it's all good. And here we go. We are diving into our next game and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ancient Cistern. We have the Indian Zerg player. We have our next challenger representing Matcherino Esports. It is Demi. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the current, the only reigning King of the Hill so far, winning every single game in this tournament. Representing Team Abydos, it is NightMare. And Demi's crazy. He's lost his mind. He's going for a proxy hatch. Let's go. Now, which variation is this going to be? Hatchery is thrown down. We talk about this all the time. Okay, so proxy hatch builds are common on maps like this. On maps like Gretsvan, Royal Blood, Ancient Cistern. The reason for this? No ramp. No ramp coming into the natural, no high ground advantage, no kind of point of elevation for the Protoss. So we'll see if Demi can pull this off. NightMare, he's going for the scout. He goes for the probe scout. He sees nothing. He's checking for the unnatural natural. He sees that there is no hatchery. NightMare, he's slowly piecing this together. The hatchery, it's got to be somewhere. What's going on? He's checking. Here we go. Probe is going to be checking the left-hand side and is now checking the right. He will get eyes on the proxy hatch. We have a spawning pool behind this. We are sending drones across the map for spine crawlers. This is going to be a spine rush variation of the proxy hatch. And we'll see how NightMare can defend against this. Now, he has some experience. He has some practice. Dark has been doing this very often over in the land of Korea. So NightMare, this is not his first rodeo. We have shield batteries on the way. Ideally, we have forge. We have a forge for cannons. And ideally, we have a robo for immortals. We'll see. But we'll see how committed this is going to be as well. As the drone turns back around. Oh. Demi is not going for spine crawlers. He's expanding back at home. Bold move. It looks like Demi is transitioning. Yep. Drones are on the way. He's backing away from the proxy hatch. To be fair, he is forcing a reaction. He's forcing a big reaction out of NightMare. He delayed the Nexus. He's forcing all these shield batteries, a second gateway, delayed tech. Damage is being done. But is this worth it? Because Demi's drone count is not looking too good. It's it's struggling, Papi. It's struggling. Like Demi, he's got a lot of droning to do to catch back up. Like he still doesn't have his natural. So we'll see how well this works. Again, I'm a little bit unfamiliar. I'm unfamiliar with an uncommitted proxy hatchery like this. I haven't really seen too many games like this. You either commit and you go all in, or that's it. So yeah, we'll see. I appreciate the creep as well from Demi. He is spreading creep backwards from across the map. He's going to be spreading creep over this base location as well, which means NightMare can only expand it towards the north. Ideally, Demi can spread creep in this direction as well, just to contain the Protoss to two bases. We'll see if he can get there. As NightMare is expanding, he even made oh my god, he made a fourth shield battery. NightMare is terrified, and still no tech. Still no Twilight Council, no Robo, no Stargate, no nothing. So far so good. So far so good. Overlord dips in, there's nothing to scout, which is probably a good thing. Demi's going to be feeling pretty good about this. He's saturating his natural. Should be working on his third base momentarily. Adepts do make it across the map. Uh-oh, the Lings are out of position. Lings, they need to race back home. One drone goes down. The Adepts, we've seen how much damage Adepts can do in the hands of NightMare. Hatchery across the map is about to fall. Drones are being forced away. A lot of lost mining time. As one Adept makes it here into the natural base and is going to get one more drone before going down. And again, NightMare is able to confirm as well that his opponent is transitioning, that his opponent is focusing on their economy. NightMare, he's going for a Twilight Council. We have options. Now, NightMare, if he wants to, he can go for Glaives. With no additional gases. with no Roach Warren, Glaive Adepts can work quite well, but okay, no. We're going for Blink instead. Interesting. Blink is on the way. Demi trying to keep eyes on the would-be third base, getting his own third as well. So far, Demi, for the most part, has been able to recover. He did lose a couple of drones and some lost mining time, which was brutal, but it's all good. Spreading creep. We don't have a robo yet, so we actually can't deny any of this creep, but third base is being taken. And Demi sees it. Unfortunately for Demi, the creep just wasn't able to get here in time. It would have if we were spreading creep like here outside the base, but it is a risky thing to do. Oh my god. As NightMare, he's not just going for Blink. He's delaying his Forge, he's delaying +1, and he's going for a Robotics Bay instead. Oh boy. With this, he can get into fast Disruptors or Colossi. Stalkers have arrived. And we should have enough to hold on to this base, yeah. We have Lings, we have Roaches. Demi is in position. For the most part, he is going to be able to shoot this away without losing too much. Demi does hold on. Blink isn't done yet, by the way. Uh-oh. Stalkers are going to get picked off. 1, 2, 3 Stalkers go down. A big loss here for NightMare. Demi, he's got momentum going his way. He's making links behind this. He is cutting workers at 47. Oh, the Adepts come back in. They're going to get a lot of drone damage. But Demi, he doesn't care too much. He does force a cancel on the third base. Oh, and that's all he cares about. Oh, okay. Let's go. He cancels the third. He kills the pylon. He backs off. He's droning. I like it's very, very tempered play out of Demi. He doesn't want to throw away a lead. He doesn't want to all in against this. I mean, there are 4 shield batteries at the natural, so I feel like pushing in towards the natural is not the right play to go for. Does confirm Blink. Does confirm Blink out of his opponent. Yeah, Demi, he's just going to drone up. He's working on a lair. He's just going to focus on getting ahead. NightMare first gets a Colossus, which is a very safe way to go about this. Colossus first, then the Disruptors. Oh, the probe is being taken out. Demi catching more of these Stalkers. Up! Oof! The Biles will connect, and only 2 Stalkers survive. Another really good pickoff here from Demi. Oh! Jesus. Calm down. As Demi is saturating his 3 bases, getting a 4th base up and running, we are going into a spot. Oh, it's classic Demi. Let's go. For those wondering, MeomaikA is the king of the sea. He's the king of Southeast Asia. Demi, he's the Muta king of Southeast Asia. He loves his mutas. Every matchup, if he's ever able to make mutas, he goes for it. What's interesting is that he's still getting upgrades for his roaches. They have +1 range on the way. So looks like Demi, it doesn't look like he's gonna overcommit into the muta production. Meanwhile, oh, he's bleeding out some of these Ravagers. Some rough losses here. Demi, he needs to max out here and now. He needs to rebuild his army. He cannot bank up into mutas. In danger. As NightMare is pushing on through. More Roaches and Ravagers have to be built. Spire is about to finish up, but we'll see if Demi does have a bank to work with, or if he's able to make too many mutas to begin with. As NightMare did force a pretty big reaction here. Up! Demi trying to bow down the Observer. Doesn't quite get it in the end. Spire is done. +1 range is on the... Sorry, +1 air attack is on the way. Uh-oh. And NightMare... He hasn't seen anything, but he is going... Or he's transitioning into Skytoss. Uh-oh. I mean, it makes sense. He knows he's behind. He knows he's been stuck on a 2-base economy for far too long. So he's going to turtle up and go into Skytoss. Oh boy. Oh boy. So NightMare, he's going to try to slow the game down. He's going to try to catch back up into this. Turtle up as best he can. Demi on the other side is going into all these mutas, and there's a lot of potential for damage. There is potential. The Stalkers are going to be trading fairly well here against these Lings. Third base getting saturated. We have +2 on the way. Interesting, we're going into Phoenix's first here for NightMare. He's going to be banking them up back at home. Thankfully, like, Demi isn't thankfully, he isn't overcommitted to the mutas. Like, he's banking up some of them, to be fair. He's banking up a lot. A lot of this is going to depend on, like, the angle of attack. As Demi is taking more bases. His economy is booming. Even if these mutas don't get out of control, like, he can always transition out of this as well. As the Stalker army is pushing out. Now, because the Stalkers reveal themselves, that is going to trigger a Demi to go in. Fourth base is spotted. Now, even with Phoenixes without range, they can actually die to mutas. It's pretty crazy. Without Phoenix range, mutas can still dive on them, and they can still go toe-to-toe with the Phoenixes as well. Up. Nevers are going to be going off, zoning away the army. Meanwhile, the mutas, they do dive forward, but the Phoenixes are going to shoot them away. I mean, not quite finding the damage he's been looking for. Does take down a lot of the shields. Takes down one Phoenix for a muta. Actually, a lot more mutas went down there, actually. 6 mutas for 1 Phoenix. And Demi is doubling down. He's not backing off. He's like, you know what? I'm going to make this work. Mass muta, papi. Oh boy. And again, mass muta can work here against Phoenixes, especially if there aren't Archons to support them on the ground. We're committed. Solid contamination on the Stargate. Let's go. Phoenixes are moving out. They can maybe find some harassing damage here, but the mutas have arrived, and gonna have to be careful. The spores aren't done yet. So the mutas, they don't really have too much of an anchor point. How many do we have? We have 25 mutas. But we are losing quite a bit. At the same time, a massive Ling counterattack. Gonna try and get some damage done, but the wall is a wall. Solid biles. But the ground army is forcing Demi back. Demi bleeding out a lot of roaches and ravagers. We can see he may even trigger an attack from NightMare. How many mutas do we have? 26. With 11 more on the way. Oh my god. And NightMare, he is refining his army with these 3 Archons. That means that before these Archons arrived, the mutas, they could potentially dive on this army. Now with these Archons, it's not going to be as easy. Here we go. The army is revealing itself. A couple of mutas do get caught out. Spine's going to try to hold the line. Demi just going for a base trade. He is committing to a base trade. Sending everything he has across the map. The army of NightMare is turning back around. Zealots are wreaking havoc, though. They're getting a mineral line. Meanwhile, it doesn't look like Demi is doing enough damage. He takes down the natural base, but he needs more than just this. The main army is turning back around. Demi should be aware. Oh, the Archons! Don't bunch up! Oh. Does take a lot of hits. We can see the main ground army going down. Meanwhile, Zealots, they're in every single mineral line. Oh my god. Eviscerating the economy of Demi. Demi, he had such a strong start. He had such a strong start this game. He was ahead. He was, but there are literally Zealots in every base. There are Zealots in every single base, and alas, the base trade just did not work out for Demi. 47 drones go down. Demi killed the natural, but that was not enough. Nowhere near enough. We can see that, in a way, NightMare's... Oh, no, he's in the vicinity. He's in the area. These mutas, as they roke up, NightMare is here as well. No way in. The observers of NightMare have seen all the army movement here of Demi. He is keeping up. Now, Demi still has a large army. He has 47 mutas. He has 47 mutas. He can still actually make some magic happen with this. It's just, he's gonna have a hard time maxing out. Hard time maxing out. He dives into the main base. NightMare not quite in position this time. Is gonna be losing quite a bit here. Even gets one of those Stargates depowered. He has to be very careful with his movement. Takes down the Forge. Oh god, but the Phoenix is just going to town on this. Oh my god. We had 47 mutas. We're down to 39. 38. At the same time, a Link counterattack. He runs into the Colossus. Demi is getting a lot of tech structures, which is nice and all, but he's just bleeding out far too much. The control here from NightMare's Phoenixes is just a little bit too good. Yeah. So he just annihilates the mutas. GG gets called. There's nothing left. NightMare holds on. NightMare takes down Demi, coming back from such a terrible position. Oh my god. And he claims his 6th win. GG. GG, well played. A good effort though, a good effort from Demi. Like going for the proxy hatch, forcing an overreaction, and taking advantage of NightMare, able to be the first player to max out as well. It was really close. It was really close. Really well done there by Demi. Unfortunately, as he tried to commit to mass muta, we saw that even without Phoenix range, NightMare, god, his Phoenix control was just a little bit too sharp, a little bit too good. Oh. Did end up bringing Demi down. GG. That's, oh no. Yo, calm down in the chat. Ay, ay, ay. That's what I'm about to say. Be respectful in the chat, of course. Be respectful. If you're not, then get out of here. Get out of here. Ay, ay, ay. Shaking my head, shaking my head. Oh, as we have our next matchup. We have our next matchup before us. It is going to be... Oh, we're actually going to be going back to PvP. We missed out on the first one. We missed out on Skilless versus NightMare. Unfortunately, we weren't able to cast that series, but we have another PvP. We also saw this player in the chat earlier. Oh boy. It is the Ukrainian Protoss player. It is NightPhoenix. Oh, let's go! On one of the older maps. Okay. So, I've been omitting something. I've been omitting something from the chat. Something that I haven't said about the format is that this tournament has an extended map pool. Oh god, I need to get into this. Hold on. Okay, there we go. This tournament has an extended map pool. What does that mean? That means we have the regular maps, but we also have a couple of older maps. We have some older maps that really spice things up. There's wondering, the three maps that are included are Death Aura, Jagannatha, and Lightshade. If you're an older school player, these maps were in the map pool a couple of years ago. I want to say 2020, maybe 2019, 2020 was back when this map pool was active, and we do allow players to pick these maps. So here we go. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade, we have the Ukrainian Protoss player representing Hot-Headed Gaming, the yellow Protoss, the new challenger. It is NightPhoenix. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the current King of the Hill representing Team Abydos. It is NightMare. Let's go. Lightshade, it's been so long. Been so long since we've been here in this map pool. For those wondering, this is A very short rush distance map, very short rush distance, but very often, despite how small the how short the rush distance is, we saw a lot of split map scenarios, especially because there are so many choke points and points of elevation as well. So we could see the map cut in half quite often on Lightshade. And we also saw a lot of cheese. We saw a lot of cheese on this map as well. So yeah, really cool to see NightPhoenix pick this map. As a reminder, the challenger does pick the map, and it did opt for Lightshade. Now the question becomes, what does NightPhoenix want to whip out here? What does he want to whip out? What is the plan? How aggressive does he want to be? I'm ready for it. As NightMare, all right, we've been here before. It's the Battle of the Knights, Bobby. The Battle of the Knights. We have the mare against the phoenix. The horse against the bird. Hopefully I don't jumble up my words. Hopefully I don't hopefully I don't lose my mind trying to cast these two players. Not like this. Now we just need like Baby Knight to come back. What's another one? There's Baby Knight. There's Night End, of course. Night End. We just talked about him earlier. Knight. I'm trying to think of other. As the scouting probe of NightPhoenix does go down, I should talk about the game itself. We did have a double gate openers all around. So very standard openers here from both of our players. Double Stalker from NightPhoenix. We have a double Stalker from NightMare, so both players are mirroring each other. But the mirror ends here. NightMare going for a Robo follow-up and a third gateway. NightMare setting up for a one base all-in. Even a proxy proxy pylon out on the map. Meanwhile, NightPhoenix going for a Twilight Council into an expansion. NightPhoenix is going to be the defender. NightMare, the aggressor. Probe Scout does confirm the Nexus. NightMare is now aware that his opponent is expanding. Units are moving out. NightPhoenix getting ready for potentially his own proxy. Little does he know that NightMare doesn't even have a base. Uh-oh. Not like this. Not like this. And so here we go. I'm really curious to see if NightMare actually throws down a fourth gateway as well, or if he stays on 3 gates. Prism is on the way. NightPhoenix setting up a proxy gateway out on the map. That does mean that NightPhoenix has a comparable production to his opponent, as he does get a third gateway. Probe dips in, and NightPhoenix sees the lack of Nexus. Oh boy. NightMare, he is up in the Stalker count. There's no shield battery. Uh-oh. No shield battery on the low ground. NightPhoenix, he can't hold on to his natural, or he's gonna have a really hard time doing so. Ay, not like this. It means we don't have a shield battery. We don't have an overcharge as well. Otherwise, we probably could be able to defend the low ground. As NightMare is pushing on in, and yeah, NightPhoenix, he's just giving up the low ground. Oh, but NightMare doesn't care. He doesn't care, Bobby. He's pushing all the way into the main base. He's going for the kill. He's going for the throat. Pushing up a ramp, though, into a concave. Still no shield battery. NightPhoenix so confident. Is he crazy? Like, shield batteries are so good. Overcharge is so good. Ay. As NightPhoenix is just going toe-to-toe with his opponent. He does have Blink. Bear that in mind, so he can out-micro his opponent. There we go. He does dive on top of the army. He takes down the War Prison. But there's too much. There's too much on the ground. NightMare. Oh, he cleans up most of the army. Takes down the natural base as well. Oh, and NightMare is just busting into the main. Boys have to be pulled. And NightMare, he's pulling this off. He's still down in the economy, but he's up in supply. He's up in Stalkers, and I don't think that's ever going to change. Takes down one of the gateways. We have a force field. That will actually be pretty impactful. That will cut up the army. Oh my god, NightPhoenix, he's crazy. Blinks down to the low ground, but suddenly he's just zoned away from his own base. Oh. barely blinks up to the main. But NightPhoenix, he only has one gateway left. Yeah, and he's going to be losing too much. NightMare refusing to let go of that crown, of that throne. Can anyone stop this man? GG. Good luck in the next game as NightMare takes down NightPhoenix 1-0. GG. Oh. GG, well played. Oh, that was close though. That was pretty intense. Again, I do feel like if NightPhoenix did have a couple of defensive shield batteries set up, he did scout, he did see the lack of nexus of his opponent. So again, he was able to recognize that it was going to be a one base all in. But despite recognizing that, it did feel like NightPhoenix was cutting corners. It felt like he was a little bit overconfident in that defense and did pay the price for it. GG, well played. NightMare continuing his reign of terror, his reign of dominance. Oh boy. As we have another European player stepping up here to try to bring him down. Oh boy. We have another player. We have a contender. He is our most recent Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. The most recent Tuna Cup champion. It's gonna be the Terran player, Nicoract. Here we go. Nicoract has been getting some pretty good results recently. Was looking pretty impressive a couple of days ago in the Sparkling Tuna Cup. Oh boy. But can he go toe-to-toe with NightMare? Earlier, we were talking about him in the chat. We did bring up as well that Nicoract, that he is a bit of a TVT sniper, and he can go toe-to-toe with the best of them in TVT. What about Protoss? What about Protoss? Oh boy. We're here to find out. We are here to find out. As we're getting towards the halfway mark. We're halfway there. Oh boy, 15 matches in total, and NightMare has already won. He's already won 7. Here he's here, and here he is looking for his 8th win. Oh boy. Cyril, the Night King. Oh. When you think about it, it's weird that the challenger gets to decide which map, which hill. True. Like, if you think about it, like, lore-wise, doesn't make too much sense. But like, don't worry about it. If you want, you can make it. You can set it up like maybe the king of the hill. Maybe NightMare, he's conquering multiple hills. Maybe everyone has their own hill, and NightMare, he's just taking them all for himself. Ay. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have the Red Terran player representing Storm Gaming, the new challenger. It is Nicoract. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the reigning king of the hill, the one and only king, apparently. No one has been able to stop him. No one has been able to slow him down. Representing Team Abydos, it is NightMare. The Knights fight on Light Shade. Amazing. In a few days, most people involved are flying there right now, right? True. Gamers 8 is in a couple of days. As we do see Nicoract setting up for a Rax Expand, a very economic opener here out of Nicoract. I'm a little bit surprised. I was expecting some aggression coming out from my Terran, but alas, an economic opener. Meanwhile, across the map, NightMare going for his Gate Expand as well, so nothing too crazy. Beyond will save us from NightMare. Oh, maybe. I mean, You say that, Björn, he didn't play in ESL Open Cup Asia, and he may be traveling. It's possible that he may be traveling right now, so we'll see, we'll see. As for the time being, again, Nicoract going for an economic opener back at home. Sending his first Reaper across the map. Trying to get a read on what his opponent is up to. And behind this, we're setting up with multiple Raxes. This is what I expected. The last time we casted Nicoract, I'm pretty sure he was just 3-Raxing, like almost every TVP. And there it is. We have our second and our third Rax on the way. So Nicoract is setting up for a very potent, a very powerful bio push with Marines and Marauders. As NightMare is going for a Twilight Council opener, which hasn't been scattered. Oh my god. And is not going to get scattered. The Reaper goes down. Nicoract is in the dark. He doesn't know what the tech is. He doesn't know if it's going to be a Stargate or a Twilight Council opener, or even a Robo opener. Nicoract does not know. Oh boy, so he's going to be gambling a little bit. As time goes on, he should be able to deduce that it isn't a Stargate, as there won't be like a Phoenix or Oracle coming out. But now he's just getting set up. Bunker is done. Marines are on the way. +1 attack as well. And hopefully, if Nicoract does recognize that it's a Twilight Council opener, he should be working on Marauders back at home to have a better army against a ground toss base composition. But now working on Stim. Going to be working on combat shields. There we go. The first Marauder is on the way. As the Adepts continue to threaten those shades. And we'll see what kind of Blink Stalker opener it's going to be as well. Oh my god. Oh, this is going to be a little bit rough for Nicoract. So, NightMare, he's going for a 4-gate. He's going for a Blink Stalker opener into 4 gateways. Oh, sorry, 4-gate Blink, basically. With this, he's going to be hyper aggressive. He's going to be very in the face of Nicoract. And the problem is that because NightMare is going to be active on the map, because he's going to be vying for map control and threatening the natural and threatening the main base, NightMare, he's going to be chipping away at the army. He's going to be killing Marines and Marauders before the push can really get underway. And yeah, I do worry here for Nicoract. I do worry for him. This is not the ideal situation here for our Terran player. Like, ideally, he's up against a Stargate opener or a 2-gate opener into a 3rd base. As Nicoract is moving out. Likewise, so is NightMare with his Blink Stalkers. It looks like Nicoract is going to be avoiding the Stalkers, or he's going to be attempting to. But we're going to end up in a really weird position. So NightMare, he can blink into the main and take control of the production. Nicoract is going to have to stim on forward, but NightMare can always recall. That's the problem. He can always recall back home. Here we go. The bunker is going down. The boys are being pulled as well. One Stalker Wolf, would you recall? We do evacuate and go back home. At the same time, Nicoract, he dives on the army. He gets a shield battery, but he won't be able to snowball out of control. He's getting a lot of probes. He's getting 3 probes. 3 probes go down, and Nicoract is being cleaned up. Now, to be fair, this could have been a lot worse. Nicoract could have lost a lot more back at home, so thankfully did end up forcing that recall, didn't end up in a weird base trade or anything like that. At the same time, Nicoract, he didn't really get the damage that he was looking for. Nicoract's alive, but see if he's able to survive any longer. Again, the downside of this build is that you have very delayed tanks. And with delayed tanks, Blink Stalkers, they can kind of dance around you. Like so. We're going into the main base. We have Stalkers threatening the natural as well. NightMare goes straight for the mineral line. And he's going to be getting some of these SCV kills. 3 SCVs already. Good pickups here from from NightMare. And again, Nicoract is just stuck at home. He's not all in. He's throwing down a third CC. Up! He gets the Prism! And all the Stalkers inside it. Not a bad pickoff here from Nicoract. There's that third CC on the way. Behind this NightMare, he's going for his own third as well as a Dark Shrine. Dark Shrine did finish up in the natural. DTs are on the way. Oh, and we don't have a Raven. Once again, because of the 3-rack setup, we don't have a tech lab on that starport. No Raven available. Oh god, hopefully we have a scan. Hopefully. As more DTs are being sent out, we have a double jump headed towards the main base. DT slips into the natural. Oh, SCVs are going down. The army is forced back home. Thankfully, you do have now a scan. More DTs being sent out. The drop into the main is going to get some pylons at least. Doesn't look like he'll get much more. There's a couple of pylons. As NightMare is just building up his Colossus army. Getting fully saturated on 3 bases. NightMare is ahead in the economy. Pretty far ahead, actually. NightMare is working on his second robo. So with this, he should be working towards Disruptor production. Does he already have 3? Okay, he's working on his third Colossus, and then Disruptors will be on the way. But at least Nicoract, he hasn't had like any kind of major army losses or even economic losses either. I mean, these DTs are being really annoying, and they dive back in once again. Getting a couple more SCVs. Three more SCVs do go down. And this is just keeping Nicoract busy back at home. Oh, interesting. Nicoract, he's actually working on a second starport. So with this, he's going to be building up a pretty large Viking army. He's got 2-2 on the way. Like, Nicoract is still building up towards one big push. That's kind of what this will come down to. It'll come down to that fight. Come down to the Novas, the Disruptors. Vikings. As both players are kind of backing off each other. NightMare just diversifying his splash damage, working on a Templar Archives, that'll be for Archons, potentially Storm as well. He hasn't made any... Oh no, there we go. I was like, where are the Disruptors? There we go. Yeah, 2 Disruptors already made. More on the way. Scan does confirm this, so Nicoract is fully aware that he's going to be running into Disruptors. Ghost Academy on the way. Nicoract is already moving out, and he has such a beefy army. Look how many Marauders he has. Oh my god. Is going to be spotted by NightMare. He's going to be able to rotate over. Keep up with the movement. The Disruptors are here. Nova's going to be going off. They don't quite find any connections. Uh-oh. Without any connections, Nicoract, he can push through. That's exactly what he's doing. The Vikings have arrived. We have 2 more Disruptors coming out. Oh. Oh my god, this army is so heavily overstimmed. But we're diving on forward anyway. We're getting one of the Colossus. We're barely going to get the second. Barely not. Good target firing coming out. The Novas, they don't finish. They don't connect. Nicoract, he breaks on through. He gets every single Colossus, every single Disruptor. He denies the warp in. And he barely gets the last Disruptor. Zealots are morphing in. Vikings are landing. Can he break him here and now? It looks like he barely will. Nicoract, the sparkling Tuna Cup champion. Mate, I'm telling you, it's not easy to become a Tuna Cup champion. And he's going to be the one to end the reign of terror. He breaks on through, takes down the Robo, depowers some of the production. We have another Colossus on the way. NightMare, he's trying to hold on with everything he has, but he has nothing left. GG gets called. And Nicoract takes down the King of the Hill. And we have a new king. The king is dead. All hail the new king, Nicoract. GG. Oh my god. Oh. His army. No fear diving into those Novas, diving on top of those disruptors. No fear at all. GG. GG, well played. Oh my god. Nicoract being so patient with his army. Obviously, sure, there was the initial 3-axe push, but after that, you know, he was just slowly working on his third base, working on his 2-2 timing as well with his upgrades, scanning ahead of time, seeing how vulnerable the army of NightMare was, as NightMare was taking up quite heavily, so he didn't really have a lot to protect his disruptors or his colossi. He was heavily reliant, NightMare was heavily reliant on his disruptors, either connecting or zoning away the army, but the disruptors, I don't think a single one connected, right? I remember the first 2 missed, and the third one missed, and then the others were focused down just before they completed any of purification overs. So very decisive play out of Nicoract. GG. GG, GG. And just like that, NightMare, his reign has ended. His reign of terror has concluded. And he won't be taking all the money tonight. For those wondering, I didn't get to mention this either. You get money for every win. That's how you earn money in this tournament. Every single win earns you more and more money. More and more of that prize pool. So because of that, all these contenders, all these people that have been facing off against NightMare, they walk away with nothing. Except for Nicoract. Let's go. Ay. GG. That's it. We're done. We can just end it here. We can. Oh my god. Let's go. We have our new king, but the question becomes: NightMare, he had a pretty long reign, you know, long and strong. It's a long reign. Nicoract, how long can he hold on to his throne for? How long can he keep it before another usurper shows up and takes it from him? It's very cutthroat, very cutthroat. Very cutthroat tournament. We'll see. It looks like Eddie, he's letting us know that we need a little bit of time here to decide on who we send out next. He's deliberating. You know, Eddie, he is the organizer and the admin of this tournament. He is the owner of OSC. This is OSC King of the Hill. He is the CEO of OSC. And he's just trying to figure out how he wants this tale to unfold. How do we want to really tell this narrative? Do we want Nicoract to have the best chance moving forward here and just get a bunch of wins, or are we going to throw someone like Bjorn at him? Which I would be opposed to. I would be okay with Bjorn versus Nicoract. Eddie's like, now do I kill the hype? And do I send out max packs? Like, oh no. Papi, he just became king. Let him have some fun. Let him. Ay. We'll see. The nightmare has ended. I'm catching up in the chat. Catching up. I think Marauder should be mech units. Now a Polish player? True. The day breaks. The sun is rising. It is a brand new day, a new era here. A new era in OSC King of the Hill in 143. Looks like we're still trying to figure out who we send out. Who is it going to be? Oh boy. But again, a shout out to Nicoract though. Shout out to Nicoract. I think he's a really underrated player, I feel. I don't know how many people in the chat are familiar with Nicoract. Maybe you see him every now and then in these tournament brackets, right? In like ESL Open Cup Europe, or in Sparkling Tuna Cup, or OSC King of the Hill. But Nicoract, he's damn good. I think in a way similar to NightMare in a way. Nicoract, he's not the most consistent player. Like every now and then he pops off, he takes down Beyond, he takes down NightMare. But like there's just so many players in Europe. There's so many. Speaking of, we're going to Europe. But there are so many pro players in Europe that it's difficult to stand out. It's difficult to stand out and really make a name for yourself because there are just so many other players like Mixu and YoungYakov and CuKu and Baby Marine and all these other and Akedon and Battle B, for example. Like there's so many other like up and comers as well. So it's difficult to really like stand out from the pack. So yeah, really well done. Really well done by Nicoract. Always has it in him to go toe-to-toe with the best of them. As we have our next challenger. We're going over to the land of Europe. There's going to be a European player. It is going to be a Ukrainian Zerg. DIMAGA. Ah, let's go. Let's go. Papa DIMAGA. Ah. Beautiful. And I do think this is going to be pretty competitive. I think this is going to be pretty close here. DIMAGA, he is a beast of the mid-game. He has this very aggressive playstyle where he drones up, he gets 3-base saturation, gets to around 70 workers, and he makes nothing but Ling Bane, typically Ling Bane Roach. Curious how he approaches this ZVT as, oh, it makes a lot of sense. DIMAGA, it's his map pick. He goes for Ancient Cistern. The map where he almost took down Maru in WTL. Oh, let's go. Let's go, Papi. Let's go. I'll always remember. DIMAGA versus Maru on Ancient Cistern in World Team League. Like maybe a month ago? 2 months ago? God, he looks so good. And here we go. We're diving into our next game. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have the Ukrainian Zerg player representing Berserker Esports. It is DIMAGA. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the current King of the Hill, the newly crowned King of the Hill. And hopefully he can hold on to his crown a little bit longer. Representing Psystorm Gaming, it is Nicoract. Oh my god, and that could be a sign of things to come. I know there were people asking for some Polish players. I can see a Polish player in the chat. Trifax. Polish Zerg. Dzień dobry, man. Dzień dobry. Could see him later on in the night. Until then, do have a hatch gas pool set up here from DIMAGA. Likewise, Nicoract going for his own Rax expand as well. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too wild here in the beginnings of Ancient Cistern. Gonna be settling on down. I'm just trying to go back into my memory banks here. Try to remember as well. Nicoract, is he one to play mech? I've seen Nicoract play mech against Protoss. he's that crazy at times. He's that crazy. But I want to, like, for the most part, I do think he's more of a biocentric player. That's kind of his stomping ground. All about the Marine, the Marauder, the man with gun. It's good stuff. And he's opting not to go for the Beyond Opener. I know the Beyond Opener has been really trendy, and I know even some of the Europeans have adopted it. Most recently, in the Polish tournament, in the House SC2 circuits, we were casting Spirit, and even Spirit was doing the Beyond Opener. But here, in this best of one, Nicoract just goes for something a little bit more standard, a little bit more safe. I don't know if Nicoract has adopted the Beyond Opener yet. I haven't seen it from him, but at least here, he's not doing it. Not going for that 2-Rax on the low ground. Now his first Reaper is just being sent out. Going to be dancing with the units of DIMAGA. He's looking for a Ling, maybe even a drone as well. One of those drones getting very low. But for the most part, DIMAGA shouldn't lose anything. Up! Up! He wants it! He gets the drone! Uh-oh. Not the best start for DIMAGA. Really good pick off here from Nicoract. Drones should not be dying this early on. Oh my god! As Nicoract, he wants the tumor. He's so greedy. He wants the tumor, but he will be forced back. As up! Oh, Nicoract, he does fly too close to the sun, does lose the Reaper to that Queen. Behind this, though, being very aggressive, he's going for a 1-1-1 opener. He's going for a delayed 3rd CC in favor of a faster starport. Okay, interesting. So, again, a little bit more aggressive out of Nicoract. He's going to be pumping out some of these Hellions. Behind this, we don't have an add-on swap. Is this BC? It's BC. Fusion core is thrown down. It's going to be a battle cruiser opener from Nicoract. It's been a while. I say it's been a while. Over the weekend, Spirit also went for a BC opener for the first time in a long time against a laser. But it is going to be a BC opener here from Nicoract. Only one starport, thankfully. Over the weekend, Spirit went for a 2-port BC build against a laser. It was disgusting. It was absolutely wild. And I mentioned earlier, actually, if you recall, that Nicoract, he doesn't really come off as a mech player. But BC openers do fare fairly well with mech. They do kind of pair quite well together. So that could be where Nicoract is going as well. Meanwhile, the Hellions are moving out. Maybe threatening the bases here of his opponent. Ling, oh no! The Ling gets in! Nicoract was not able to deny the Ling scouts, and everything has been spotted. DIMAGA, he's fully aware of the battle cruisers coming his way. The wall wasn't a wall. The Hellions, they had one job. Oh my, it's a 2-port BC. I just mentioned how Spirit did this against a laser, and maybe Nicoract was watching. Maybe he was watching. As it is going to be 2-port BC. He's an animal. Ay. Here we go, as the Hellions going to rotate around, heading towards the natural base. Lings are going to try to keep up, but there aren't that many Lings. The Hellions are getting into the mineral line. DIMAGA not taking this seriously enough. Drones are getting roasted. Look away. If you're a Zerg player, look away. The entire mineral line goes down. This is game-ending damage already. 16 drones go down. And counting. More Hellions, they dive into the 3rd. 17 drones. And we're not done. We still have the BCs, papi. Not just one. We're going to make 2 at a time. We're going to invest and we're going to get Yamato as well. Oh boy. All Nicoract has to do is defend. He's already done the damage that he needed to. Forget about the BCs, mate. It was the Hellions. They were what we needed to be worried about. DIMAGA back at home throwing down a Roach Warren. Wise choice. He's working towards his lair as well for a Spire. He's going to try and go into Roaches. That will help against the mech, but DIMAGA, he has a lot of droning to do. He has so much droning to do. So we're working on our 3rd CC. I imagine we're going to be throwing down another factory soon as well. As the first battle cruiser is zooming across the map. There's Yamato on the way. This time the wall is a wall, so these Lings, they're not going to find too much damage. Hellions getting ready for another run by here on the left-hand side. There are Lings to defend, so Nicoract, he has to be careful not to be too wasteful. He has to be careful not to throw these away as the Hellions are diving on forward. And okay, they are going to back off. Meanwhile, at the same time, there are Queens defending in the main. There are the additional factories. So again, it is 2-port BC into mech. Oh boy. And DIMAGA is stabilizing. DIMAGA is joining up quite well. The problem is that DIMAGA is contained.
Game paused.
As we do have a bit of a pause. Oh. Oh, good. Looks like there seems to be a bit of a technical issue, and hopefully DIMAGA can fix it. But what I was getting at is that... Oh, never mind. We're good. Oh, all good. But yeah, like, even though DIMAGA, he's like recovering here on 3 bases, there's no 4th. There's no 4th base right now, so DIMAGA just doesn't have the best economy here to sustain himself. Not yet. Hellions just vying for map control, cleaning up all of this creep. They did miss one tumor. One of the active tumors, thankfully for DIMAGA. Meanwhile, the BC count is just banking up. Oh, we even teleported BC across the map. Queens are out of position. Yamato isn't done yet, but oh, that spawning pool is very exposed. That's a smudge spawning pool, as it does go down. Now again, Nicoract did teleport across the map, so he has to be very careful here with his army control. He can only teleport 2 BCs back home. As he is going to back off at the same time, Hellions dive on forward, taking down more of these tumors. Getting eyes on the 4th base. As Nicoract is getting into battle mech. Hellions and Cyclones. Very maneuverable form of mech. Thankfully. Nicoract getting his 3rd base up and running. Meanwhile, just sharking around with these BCs. Taking down more of these tumors. Oh, Hellion Rumbai being set up over towards the right-hand side. There is an opening. Uh-oh. Nicoract, he's moving all his queens over to keep up with these BCs. We have the Lings and Roaches here at the 3rd, which means the natural is exposed. Not again. Oh, God. Okay. Nicoract, he thinks about it. He thinks about diving in. He totally could, actually. As the BCs teleport away. Yeah, these Lings, they're going to have a hard time engaging. The choke point is real. Lings are going down. And with this, Nicoract, he can dive straight to the mineral line. Queens not where they need to be. Roaches, they do come out just in time. DIMAGA does hold. And those Corruptors are on a mission. They're looking for the BCs. Up. They're looking for those battle cruisers. They find them, but there's a little bit too many. So DIMAGA, he does back off. Is looking to saturate his 4th. Again, DIMAGA is behind economically. He's still trying to catch up. Still attempting to catch up. Nicoract just going to be rotating around. Could even find a queen here as well. The Roaches aren't too far behind, thankfully. DIMAGA is holding. Meanwhile, Nicoract, he is going to be cutting battlecruiser production here. How many BCs do we have? We have 5. 5 BCs in total. He has a mobile Hellion Cyclone army, but soon he should be transitioning into more of a turtle mech style. And there we go. Tank production has now commenced. So he is looking to just turtle on up. Oh, as he does split up his army. Hellion Rumbai threatening the natural. DIMAGA is aware. He's able to keep up. BC's pushing towards the main. Queen? Okay. That queen, how long had it been attacking? Aye. Queen was upset at the hatchery for some reason, but the BCs, they do dive into the main base. Yamatos are going to be going off, or at least they should be. Up. One battlecruiser does go down. At the same time, the Lings and the Roaches are going for a massive counterattack. Without tanks, this base is actually a little bit vulnerable. But the BCs, they do arrive in time. Biles, oh my god, they take down the tanks. A good trade here for DIMAGA. But there are more tanks where that came from. You have more factories, more tanks on the way. Even making Hellbats? Because I guess why not? We can see Nicoract is attempting to expand and take a 4th base. DIMAGA already remaxed, looking to stop him. Looking to break Nicoract here and now. The tanks, they are unsieged. Nicoract has to set up. Your tanks are on the way. Biles do connect, taking down 2 of them already. We can see DIMAGA just trying to force his way up this ramp, and Nicoract just doesn't have enough. He doesn't have enough on the ground. GG gets called. DIMAGA does take down the king. He is our new king slayer. He usurps him and he takes that throne for himself. GG. The king is dead. All hail the new king of the hill, DIMAGA. Nicoract, he was doing so well for himself, but yeah, DIMAGA was able to max out, was able to find quite a vulnerable position there of Nicoract as well. It wasn't just that. It did feel like Nicoract, his transition into tanks, it felt very delayed. It felt very late, later than it typically should be. And on top of that, every single time DIMAGA dipped in, his bios were so efficient. He was always finding like 2 tanks at a time. They were always bunched up with each other, just slowing down that tank count before it got out of hand. Ooh, GG, well played. Impressive that DIMAGA came back from a pretty disastrous start, to be honest. That was a rough start to the game. 17 drone kills, 17 drones died at the start of that game. But DIMAGA, he found his way back in, and just like that, he's our new king of the hill. GG. And have we entered an era here where we're going to be trading back and forth? That does happen from time to time here in OSC King of the Hill, where a player can only you know, hold on to that crown and be the king of the hill for one game, and then another shows up and just knocks him down and just keeps on going back and forth. These win streaks, they're a little bit rarer. You need a dominant player to be able to hold on and go for these like big, like 5, 6, 7 game win streaks, and even more than that. NightMare, he had quite a legacy behind him. 7 wins in a row. 7. Jesus. Can anyone keep up to that? Can anyone match up to that? Let's go. As we are heading over to the land of the Americas, we have our next challenger. Oh, this could be a long one. Oh no. It is the most honorable of honorables. The South Korean Terran player. You know him, I know him, we love him. It's going to be another ZVT. It is going to be DIMAGA versus HonMonO. HonMonO himself. Now, what kind of HonMonO are we seeing today? Is it going to be HonMacro? Is it going to be HonMech? Is it going to be HonMicro? We'll see. We shall see. I just noticed something. Aye. You'll notice when we get in game. You'll notice what's going on. So HonMonO, HonMonO, he was on K10 Esports. He was on K10 Esports for a while. He was on K10. But he's on a new team. Sorry, he's teamless. He's currently teamless. He's on a new clan. I'm really curious to see what the logo is. I'm really curious when we load in. You'll understand. But yes, HonMonO, he's an up-and-coming Korean player. He's living in the land of Japan, living in Happon, in Japan. And that's why HonMonO, he's been competing in a lot of these Southeast Asian tournaments, or Asian tournaments. Not quite the Korean ones. And here we go. We're loading in. We're loading on in. Oh god, am I building this up too much? What's it gonna be? He's a fan of the channel. He's a supporter of the CranKy Ducklings. And we're getting in. As he is not on clan CranKy. In game, he's on clan CranKy. I was messaging him, I was like, who's CranKy? Aye. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have the South Korean Terran player representing his brand new clan. He's not a CranKy Duckling, he's a CranKy Duckling. Shaking my head. Living in the land of Japan, it is the new challenger, HonMonO. CranKy HonMonO. and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner. We have his opponent, we have the current King of the Hill representing Berserker Esports. It is DIMAGA. I'm shaking my head. Here we go. Why would this be long? Well, HonMonO, he likes playing mech. He likes playing mech, of course. Can be Hon mech from time to time, but no, he's going for his tried and true. Okay, this is a build that only HonMonO does. Only HonMonO does this build. It's a proxy 3-Rax Marine. No, sorry, not Marine, sorry. Reaper, but he's not taking his gases. Okay. So it's gonna be a proxy 3-Rax Marine, standard proxy 3-Rax. Thankfully, he's been going for these Reaper all-ins and they have not been working. This could work though, this could work. So proxy 3-Rax from HonMonO. DIMAGA, he's scouting, he's checking, and he will not come across the proxy. He will not come across the proxy, okay? So he's gonna be coming back. Thankfully, he's keeping his Overlord over his natural, which means, oh my god, okay. Which means he will see the bunker ahead of time. He will see the bunkers as they are thrown down. Now the question becomes, how does DIMAGA react? Because you have different reactions, different, you do need a different reaction depending on whether it's a proxy 2-Rax or a proxy 3-Rax. And HonMonO, he should be only revealing 2 SCVs. Oh my goodness, he has CV scouts as well. Oh my, he's crazy. Okay, bunker is on the way. Boys are being pulled. Really ambitious bunker here is not going to finish. The Marines are on the way. The rest of the SCVs are rocking up. 4 SCVs. Jesus. Does force a cancel on that bunker. Again, that was really ambitious out of HonMonO. But another bunker is on the way. SCVs have arrived. DIMAGA mustering up his army back in the main base. Now, against a proxy 3-Rax, it is okay to lose the natural, but here we go. He's pulling the boys. He wants to try to defend. He wants to try to hold on to his base. The Queen has arrived. Wings are here as well. The boys, they're looking for the surround. Up! Oh my god. The drone drilling. The drone drilling was insane. Every single SCV is going down. The bunker will not finish. HonMonO is trying to stutter step his heart out. Gets a lot of drone kills. 5 drones go down. But the natural is held. And there is no bunker. Without a bunker, what do we do? What can we do? We throw down our gases. Okay. Factory. We're going for a CC on the high ground. We're floating our racks back. Not quite floating it back home. We're being aggressive with it. Okay, let's go. Now, HonMonO, he should be working on a factory back at home. He should be transitioning. For now, is gonna try to force the issue. But DIMAGA is about to finish up Link Speed, and with Link Speed, he can get us around. He can completely clean this up. Now, HonMonO has really good positioning behind these gases, but the surround is real. The Marines go down, and just like that, this proxy has been completely shut down. And oh my, he's going for 3 CC. He's crazy. He has a 3rd CC on the way, factory on the way as well. He has 0 units back at home to defend. Thankfully for HonMonO, there is no Baneling Nest, so there's no Bane Bust. But still, I mean, damage is going to be done. Boys have to be pulled. We need to repair. We do need to repair. We need to repair the other depots, Papi. The other depots, no! Oh, the southern depot may go down. It's getting close. Okay. SCVs are going to keep it alive. HonMonO should be safe at home here. Back across the map, DIMAGA is droning, getting his 3rd base. Lings shouldn't be able to bust in. The Hellion arrives, and DIMAGA is going to be forced back. Okay. So HonMonO, he's going for a very greedy. Oh my god, he's working on a 4th CC. He's crazy. He's getting a 4th CC. Oh my god. So he really does want to macro out of this. He's going to be going for a full wall off. So because of the timing of this 4th CC, he won't really have too much of a map presence. So this is going to delay the starport. This is going to delay Stim. It's It's going to delay reactors, combat shields, upgrades. Everything is going to be delayed here in favor of just mass SCV production. And we're going into mech. We're going into mech, Pop. We have Blue Flame on the way. Let's go. But DIMAGA, does HonMonO know that DIMAGA, he just beat Nicoract, who attempted to play mech himself? That did just happen. Oh. I see Eva showing up in the chat. Eva, mate, you can't talk, Bob. You didn't even sign up for today's tournament. Esta Eva, mate. You may be the epic land champion, but why aren't you an OSC King of the Hill, huh? Esta Eva. Shaking my head. Eva, of course, best Protoss player in Italy. Love to see him. Behind this, we have a factory, sorry, an armory on the way. We have, oh my god, hyperflight rotors for Banshee speed. Second factory. HonMonO is going to look to slow the game down. He's going to slow the game down to a crawl. He's going to attempt to anyway. With his mech. We're going to be here for a while. F for Azura. I mean, Eva did beat Azura over the weekend. Did happen. Feels Azura, man. Yo, those are fighting words, Eva. Those are fighting words. But yeah, Banshee production. We have a Viking coming out as well to, I guess, try to deny some of the scouting. DIMAGA, he dives in. He sees the CCs. That's another CC, by the way. Wait, what? That's a 5th orbital. That's a 5th base. He's crazy. Oh my god. He is HonMacro. That's a 6th. Wait, what? What is happening? That's a 6th. This is illegal. That's a 6th command center. Oh my god. He's gonna have so many mules and SCVs. Speaking of, the mule hammer is here. Now, hopefully, DIMAGA doesn't let him get away with this. DIMAGA, I mean, we've been focusing a lot on what's been happening here. And to be fair, this deserves our attention. It does deserve it. But back at home, we have a scan, Spire play. We have potential for mutas. DIMAGA can go into mutas. I wouldn't be opposed to it. He has taken all 6 gases. He's going Corruptor. Okay. Corruptors are on the way. I mean, yeah, we're throwing down turrets all over the place. HonMonO, he's turtling up so hard, going for these mass turrets. So mutas wouldn't have done anything anyway. But maybe Corruptors will. Maybe. I mean, to be fair, we need something to do with these Banshees. Banshees are moving out. High-sec auto tracking is on the way. Behind this, I imagine we're going to get near steel frames. More bases being taken. Widowman's getting in position. Corruptors do reveal themselves, and the Banshees get swatted away. DIMAGA getting ready for his push. He's not going to allow HonMonO to get away with this. What does HonMonO have on the ground? He has 1 tank, 1 Cyclone, and a handful of Hellions. Like, he has nothing. There's nothing. Get him. What HonMonO is doing is illegal. Stop this man. Stop him before it's too late. Put him in jail. Here we go. DIMAGA is pushing on forward with Ling and Roach Ravager. We have 2 tanks, 3 tanks in position. But the tanks are going down one after the other. The Lings, they get into the middle line. The Biles are connecting on the tanks. And DIMAGA is breaking on through. Banshees are doing what they can, but we have Corruptors to deal with said Banshees. 3rd base has been broken, but do we need the 3rd? It's okay. We have a 4th, we have a 5th, and we have a 6th base anyway, right? Hi. As DIMAGA is busting into the natural. Again, there are tanks in position with some massive volleys are going off. Oh my god. But it shouldn't be enough. As DIMAGA does a break, not just into the 3rd, but into the natural as well. Boys are being pulled. SCVs are going down. But it's okay, we can make more. We mule. Oh my god. As there just isn't enough on the ground for HonMonO to hold on. Even with his economy, even with the muling and the SCVs, even after losing 50 workers, it's just, yeah, it's not going to be enough. DIMAGA, he's camping the production. He's busting on in. CranKy doesn't pay me enough. You're not on CranKy. You're on CranKy. GG gets called and DIMAGA takes the game. You're not even a duckling. Ay. GG. Oh my god. The hell did we just watch? But much love to HonMonO. Again, he's a good friend of the channel. Good friend of the Ducklings. He's not a duckling. He's not on CranKy. Ay. GG, well played. Congratulations to DIMAGA as he does hold on to his crown. He takes down another Terran player. And with that, who does he face next? Let's find out. Oh god. I wasn't ready for today. I wasn't ready for it. Oh god, let's go! We are heading over to the land of Europe. We have our next opponent. We have our next challenger. Someone from the land of Poland. Let's go. Let's go. We mentioned him earlier. He was in the chat, so it was a little bit obvious that he would be coming out to compete tonight. It is going to be the Polish Zerg player. It is going to be Trifax. Let's go. Who I believe is on CSO. Am I crazy? Let me just double check. Yeah, on CSO Esports. Oh, it's our first ZVZ of the night, or first ZVZ of the tournament, I should say. We did cast a ZVZ earlier, Scarlet versus Ragnarok in ESL Asia. So we are diving on in. God, I'm dying. Here we go. We're diving into our next matchup, into our next best of one, and it is of course Trifax's map of choice. He's going to be going for Royal Blood. Oh, let's go. But yeah, DIMAGA, he's on a bit of a win streak. You know, he's got 2 wins under his belt against 2 meching Terrans. I don't know if I want to call what HonMonO did mech though. Like what the hell was he had 6 orbitals, Bobby. 6. Or was it 7? I don't even want to. I don't. Ay. Dzień dobry, Bobby. Dzień dobry. And here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner. In the top right-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have the Polish Zerg player himself representing team CSO Esports. It is Trifax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the current King of the Hill. We have the current Zerg champion representing Berserker Esports from the land of Ukraine. It is DIMAGA. Catching up. Well, you know how you got Battle Mech, or Ghost Mech, or regular Mech? Well, that was Command Center Mech. Oh god. Not like this. I never want to see that again. Ay, ay, ay. Very accurate, though. Very accurate. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Imagine if he got away with it. That's the thing, right? Like, if DIMAGA was a little bit more passive, if he had given HonMonO a little bit more time, then HonMonO would have exploded out of control. Like, it would have been crazy. Like, the economy that he would have had. Just the sheer amount of mules and SCV production would have been disgusting. Oh, God. Thankfully, that wasn't the case. And we're getting into this. So far, hatch gas pool, nothing too crazy. Hatch gas pool opener from both of our players. So standard openers here in the beginnings of this ZVZ. If he gave HonMonO another 10 minutes, I wouldn't say, I would say like 3 minutes. Like 2 to 3 minutes. If he had like 2 to 3 minutes to him, I do think he would have snowballed out of control. But that's by the by. As we are in our ZVZ, and again, so far, nothing too crazy. Everything is on the up and up. Everything is looking standard. Oh, never mind. Let's go. DIMAGA is going for a very fast Evo chamber for +1 melee. DIMAGA is setting up for a Ling Flood. And Trifax, for the time being, is unaware. I say for the time being. He's moving out with his Lings. The goal here is for Trifax to bypass the Lings of DIMAGA, to bypass the Queens of DIMAGA, and slip into the main base and get the scout. Oh my god, get the scout off. This is not +1 melee. This is crazy. He's going for +1 carapace. Interesting. Very interesting. So this could be for a couple of different things. This could still be for Ling Bane. Definitely for a flood. The power of +1 carapace is that it does mean that banelings take 2 hits to kill a Ling. So a Zergling can tank a baneling shot basically. So this will make everything more tanky. This could also be for a Roach all-in, for a Ling Roach all-in. Just because you make an abundance of Roaches, of course, and then you have your Lings to support, your Lings to help buffer and to make sure that your opponent's banelings don't really get out of control. But this is, yeah, this is not really a thing. This isn't really too common to rush into carapace like this, so I'm really curious. Really curious to see how this plays out. As we can see, Trifax is just getting his 3rd base. Everything is normal. Everything is just normal from Trifax. He's getting his 3rd, getting his Baneling Nest. There is that Roach Warren from DIMAGA. He's playing 2 base, by the way. He's staying on 2 bases, walling off. And this is looking like a Roach Ling all-in. But he's already massing Lings. And he only has 1 gas, guys. It's just, okay. It's a Ling Flood, but with carapace instead of +1. Okay. Alright. Let's see how this goes. Oh, but he's going 2 base lair? Nidus? Question mark? Is this for a Nidus? I mean, there's no additional gases. Okay, there we go. We have more gases on the way. With these gases being taken, it does look like it should be Roach production alongside this. Oh my, but I'm still uncertain as the Lings are going to be testing the waters here. They almost get us around. They are being pushed back. Trifax, oh, doesn't have his own lair. So he's going to have a hard time figuring out what this is. DIMAGA sending all of his Lings across the map. Trifax, no banelings. Uh-oh. Trifax a little bit too greedy here. Is going to be losing his Queen. He's going to have a hard time trading against these Lings as well. The Lings are going for a surround. They're going for the 3rd base. And with that +1 carapace kicking in as well, again, I'm just surprised that Trifax, okay, the banelings are now coming in. He made them, but they were just a little bit out of position. Oh my god. That's a big baneling shot, does go off. 3rd base goes down. Behind this, we have Roaches on the way. And +1 range. Let's go. So Ling Flood into 2 base Roach, into a 3rd base. DIMAGA is droning. He has been droning. He is catching up. It's just so wild. DIMAGA is able to have a bit of a better trade as well, just establishing this 3rd base. Working on those Roach upgrades, and he's going to have a pretty potent timing here with 1-1. Just because of how fast his upgrades were. Meanwhile, across the map, we do see Trifax going for his own carapace. Double expanding to try to catch up. But yeah, DIMAGA's actually found himself in a pretty terrifying position. Here we go, he's moving out, so we have Roach Speed alongside +1 range as well, all about to kick in. Trifax back at home, he's trying to muster up his own Roach army. As DIMAGA moves out, the Link counterattack is coming in, but DIMAGA, he was ready for it. Does shut it down. And the Roaches have arrived. Looking at the unit stab, we have 20 Roaches here for DIMAGA. The Links are coming for a surround. It's not going to be enough. The surround is not enough. We do see DIMAGA just overwhelming. Double the Roach count compared to his opponent. Trifax trying to squeeze out whatever he can. He does have 8 Roaches on the way. But DIMAGA, he doesn't care about the base. He cares about just snowballing out of control and diving on top of the army. He takes down the Roaches. He's getting on top of the Queens. Again, we do have reinforcements on the way. Trifax does have the defender's advantage. He's trickling in with a couple more Roaches. But so is DIMAGA. So is DIMAGA. As the 4th base is going to be going down. It's okay. Trifax double expanded. He does have another base up and running. But GG gets called. GG gets called. It's just too much to handle. And DIMAGA takes down his Zerg opponent and holds onto his crown once again. GG. That was such a wild game out of DIMAGA to go for a Link Flood with +1 Carapace, to then follow it up with 2 base Roach, to go into a 1-1 timing as well. Really interesting, really offbeat is what I would say. And I imagine Trifax, he had a hard time kind of reading what the hell his opponent was up to, and when was it safe to drone, when wasn't it safe to drone. Yeah, kind of pulled left and right. GG. GG, well played. Well played to DIMAGA, or by DIMAGA, as he does take the game. And his win streak continues. His reign continues. And who was up next? I did see Eba in the chat earlier. I saw he was talking smack. I saw he was trying to rustle some feathers. Rustle some feathers. Aye, aye, aye. And we'll see. We'll see if the young blood, the young talent from Europe is going to be stepping up next. I don't know if I'm ready for it. I don't know if I'm ready for the memes. Oh, God. Had a left field. Lorimbo now. Oh, God. Here we go. It is going to be the Polish Protoss player. He's usually a Polish Protoss player. Sometimes he's the English Zerg. Sometimes. It is going to be Eva. Eva is going to be coming out next. But the question is, what race will he play? What race will he play? He's been huffing some copium recently. I'll be honest, he's been huffing some copium. Whenever he shows up in the chat, whenever he shows up on stream, he's always talking about how impressed he is by his own Protoss. He's like, "Oh, my Protoss, it's so good, Papi, it's so good." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? We just casted you and you got absolutely demolished. Like, it was play your main race, Papi. Play your main race." We'll see. To add to that, over the weekend, Eba, he competed in Sparkling Tuna Cup, and he played as random. So we even got to see Eba's Terran as well. Eba, he's getting out of control. He's getting rowdy. Always off racing. Shaking my head. But we'll see. We shall see. Oh, no. Eva just messaged me. He's like, "Light, I'm playing Protoss just to spite you." What do you mean? What are you talking about? I just want what's best for you, Papi. Just to let you guys know. Alright, so Eva, he said, "Light, I'm playing Protoss just to spite you. I'm pink as well. I'm another pink Polish Protoss player." Dzień dobry, Papi. Dzień dobry. Shaking my head, shaking my head. So Eba is going to be rolling Protoss. He is playing his off race. He is that confident. He is that confident in his Protoss. Now, is there a basis to this? You know, is this founded in reality, or is this founded in copium? We're here to find out. Is it just delusion? Oh no, not like this. Not like this. I see you in the chat. I'm not confident. I just want to spite you. Shaking my head, shaking my head. Oh boy, here we go. We're diving into Gresvan. We're diving in. That lag, yeah. We saw just as the Baneling connected, the stream did lag a little bit there. Did notice. All right, and here we go, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Gresvan. We have the new challenger. We have the pink Polish Protoss player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Eba. One day he'll play his main race. One day. As spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Ukrainian Zerg player representing Berserker Esports. It is DIMAGA. The current reigning king of the hill. He already has 3 wins under his belt. 3 wins to his name. Oh boy. And is the streak going to continue? Can he get a 4th? What does Eba have to offer as Protoss? That is the question. Now, the reality is that Eba, he has been playing a lot of Protoss. He has been streaming a lot of Protoss. He's, again, he's been hyping himself up quite a bit with his Protoss. Oh boy. And we'll see if he can keep up here with DIMAGA. Especially with DIMAGA's playstyle. I think that's another thing to bear in mind. DIMAGA in ZVP, he's a beast. He is I would say maybe the best player in the world at just 3-base play. He drones up to 3 bases. He gets around 69 to 70 workers, gets a 4th up just for Larva, and he makes nothing but Ling, Bane, Roach Ravager. We've seen DIMAGA take down players like NightMare, take down players like Creator in World Team League, in WTL. DIMAGA, he has been popping off with his ZVP on some of these maps, and yeah, we'll see what Eba can kind of bring to the table, and we'll see if he can keep up. We'll see if he's aware as well. I wonder if he's aware of the reputation that DIMAGA has in ZVP. How mid-game oriented DIMAGA is. Oh boy. Here we go. As we have our 3rd base being taken. Nothing too crazy. Eba back at home. Going for a Stargate opener. Oh, let's go. It's going to be for the Oracle first, I imagine. And Eba, he was kind of saying that that he was quite fond of his hero style of going for these Oracle into Blinkstalkers. Let's see how good it is. Now the probe being forced back. Just working on getting his 3 bases up and running and saturated. Eba gonna test the waters here with this Adept. Oh, is he even committed to the shade? Be careful. I should also mention as well, of course, credit where credit is due. Eba, he is the most recent Epic Lane champion over the weekend. He's a champion. At 14 years old. For context, I've been talking a lot about Eba and like a lot of inside jokes and stuff like that, but maybe people aren't familiar with him, but he's 14 years old. He's very young. He's the youngest Grandmaster. I think he hit GM at 11. I think he was 11 when he hit GM. 11 or 12. 11 or 12. A very young player. He makes the rest of us feel old. It's true. It's feels bad, man. Feels bad. He's so fast. And here we go. The first Oracle is going across the map. It's going to be looking for some damage. His Adepts are staying back at home to hold on to his third base to allow this to get up and running. And we have another Oracle coming up behind this. Oh, and this is looking like Glaive Adepts. Eva! He's throwing down a Twilight Council. He's throwing down additional gateways behind this before even the third Oracle. So this is something that we've been seeing. We even saw this earlier today. I want to say NightMare did this a couple of hours ago. No, sorry, this is Blink. Not Glaives. Okay, so now I'm really curious. How many gateways are we going to be working on? Because there's no Forge, I'm getting the feeling that this is going to be a 3-base all-in. I'm getting the feeling that we're not really looking for a longer game. Adepts have arrived. They get a couple of drone kills. 2 drones will go down. Not too bad. The Oracles are looking for some more damage, but the Spore is in position. The Queens are trying to keep up as well, but no, that won't stop drones from going down. 6 drone kills. Not too bad here from Eva. Behind this, he is currently on 4 gates. I'm looking for a gateway explosion. Again, without a Forge, without any additional tech, like, there's not too much longevity with the army of Eva. Ooh, as the Lynx are getting a little bit out of control. The shield battery's late! There's no shield battery! Stalkers are going down! Oof. This got a little bit out of hand. 2 Stalkers did go down. Shield battery was delayed. Thankfully, it's about to finish up, so Eva should be able to hold on to his base. There's that Forge now. Okay. Interesting. So this is looking a little bit disjointed. Typically, you want to get your Forge with your Twilight Council so then you can start +1 and Blink at the same time. And you have a pretty strong timing with +1, and then you can get into +2. These upgrades are very delayed. We have a Templar Archives on the way as well for Archons. I'm getting worried here for Eva. Getting worried. Oracles have arrived, and we're going to be able to pick off at least some of these tumors. Lings do force Eva back. Behind this, DIMAGA, he's getting into his comfort zone. He's droned up to 61 at this point. Roach Warren is done, plus on melee about to kick in. DIMAGA has a massive Ling army. He knows he has enough to defend at home, so he's going for a counterattack instead. This 4th base is not going to finish. No shot. Does get cancelled. Eva forced to turn everything back around. And to DIMAGA, at least he doesn't bust into the natural, but he does force the Protoss army back. You can see Eva working towards towards Storm. DIMAGA did see this. He saw the Templar Archives, he saw it researching with the Overlord. So DIMAGA is fully aware of the potential of Storm. Back at home, just got more roaches on the way. DIMAGA, here we go. He's hit that sweet spot. 69 drones. Nice. That is all you want. That is all he needs. And from here, Lingbane Roach Ravager. That is all DIMAGA will be making from this point onward. We do see the 4th base being taken. DIMAGA getting ready for his push. He's got Roach Speed. Bailing Speed is about to kick in. +2 melees on the way. Actually, DIMAGA is droning a little bit further. Working on another base for Larva. He's taking up into an infestation pit. Eva, he is turtling up so... Oh my god. Eva is just throwing down a wall of gateways. Bailings will not get into the mineral line. Storms are too good. Eva does defend against the first wave. Oh no, is Eva going to go into Skytoss? He's not there yet, but he's being very defensive here on Gressvan. Just giving up map control, cannons, shield batteries on the way. Rebuilding his wall. Behind this, we have a robo on the way as well to, I imagine, start working towards Colossus. Before he can get there, once again, the storms, they take out all the banelings. Very efficient storms coming out from Eva. He blinks on forward. He shuts down the roaches. DIMAGA just being a little bit too aggressive. They're throwing away too much. And he's in some trouble. Eva, he could actually counterattack. He has enough to counterattack. He's not going to, but he could. He's got a lot of storms. He's got his Archons. Again, DIMAGA just being a little bit too wasteful. Maybe not respecting Eva's position as he's throwing down more shield batteries. Hive is on the way. And Eva is pushing out with a death ball of an army. He's got 6 High Templar, each about to have 1 storm. DIMAGA stuck with this mid-tier army. Hey, Eva can pull this off. He can do this. DIMAGA struggling to remax. He's struggling to rebuild. He just threw away too much. Too many banelings went down, and here we go. The storms are upon us. Roaches are coming in from behind for us round, but it's not going to be enough. Eva, he is doing it. He's never going to stop. As Ling Bane is trickling on in, for the most part though, Eva should be able to clean this up, push on forward and break into that 3rd base. DIMAGA has reinforcements on the way, but it's not going to be enough. Eva! He's wearing that pink Polish Protoss player mantle well. Wearing it well. As with these reinforcements, he should be able to snowball out of control. DIMAGA just doesn't have enough. The Terrans couldn't do it. The Zergs couldn't do it. But Eva's Protoss, that could do it. GG, good luck in the next game. As Eva is gonna be our king of the hill. Oh god. What have we done? I'm never gonna hear the end of it. GG, well played. DIMAGA, his reign was long, it was powerful, but it could do nothing in the face of a Protoss. To be fair, DIMAGA was a little bit wasteful with his pushes, if you recall. Twice. It happened 2 times where Ling Bane just rolled on in into storms and got nothing, got no damage done. Eva just doing his best Showtime impression, just becoming Demao, becoming the wall, absorbing those pushes, going for a big counterattack, and Eva, he's our king of the hill. He's in the chat. I told you my Protoss is goated. Aye. You're an animal. You're an animal. Este Eva. Este Eva. Ugh. And with that, who can stop him? Who can stop this man? I'm letting the admin know. No shot am I playing PvP. Mate, if you start with Protoss, you gotta end with Protoss, right? What do you mean, Papi? What do you mean? Leaving the Protoss at 100% win rate. Shaking my head. Speaking of, oh my god, here we go. I love it. Eva, he's kind of like, he's an honorary Polish Protoss player, you know? He's able to hold that mantle every now and then, but he's up against the real deal. Here we go. His opponent is going to be the Polish Protoss player, Krystianer. Krystianer, papi. Krystianer. Let's go. PvP? Wait. Oh god, I need some time. I need to set up. Alright, it looks like Eva is backing down. He's rolling a Zerg, not Protoss. 2 Polish Protosses in one game is too much, even for me. Shaking my head. Alright, here we go. We're diving on in. Oh boy, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have the new contender. We have the new challenger. We have the would-be usurper. We have the pink Polish Protoss player representing Team Blazer. It is Krystianer. And spawning in the top right-hand corner. Gonna be off racing. Not playing as Protoss, but playing as Zerg instead. We have the English Zerg player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Eva. Eva. Ay, ay, ay. Ooh, Eva gonna be denied his natural base. Is gonna be forced to take the unnatural natural instead. And now I'm a little bit concerned, you know, Eva, he's been playing a lot of Protoss, he's been practicing a lot of Protoss. Does he remember how to play Zerg? I don't know. Ay, ay, ay. We're here to find out. We're here to find out. Of course, Eva, over the weekend, he did win Epic LAN. If you're unfamiliar, Epic LAN is an offline event in the UK, in England, and Eva was competing in it for the first time, and he was the champion. He beat Raza in the grand finals in a ZVT, so very, very impressive feat from Eva. Oh, I should, so there we go. He's the king of the hill. He has 1 point on the board. We'll see if he can kind of flaunt that skill here in ZVP. His opponent is a pretty tough one. Krystianer, he is one of the other upper echelons of Protoss players, especially in Poland. I think of the top Polish Protoss players. I think of Krystianer, I think of Geralt, I think of Mana, I think of Art. Krystianer is definitely up there. Oh boy. The big names are coming out. For now, Eva just going for a hatch gas pool. Nothing too crazy, just going to be joining on up. Krystianer, he's a pretty aggressive player as well. When I think of players like Krystianer and Geralt, I feel like Geralt is more of a macro-oriented defensive player. Krystianer, he's more the wild, aggressive player instead. I mean, I say that, they kind of had a role reversal over the weekend in the house tournament, the house SC2 circuit. But we'll see. We'll see, as we do have a Stargate opener from Krystianer. Pretty normal, pretty standard, going towards that Oracle. Meanwhile, Eva, trying to be a little bit sneaky, avoids the first Adept, is going to try to get a scout off across the map, but the second Adept comes out just in time. Oh, Lings are going to be able to avoid it. And Eva is going to get a full scout off, does slip into the natural, slips into the main, and does confirm the Stargate. Or he will. Meanwhile, Krystianer gets 1 drone kill across the map. Not too bad. Eva actually hasn't seen the tech yet, but the positioning of the pylon should be enough of a tell. Oof, as a Ling, it does go down. Eva doesn't have confirmation of the Stargate. The pylon was further out, so it should be for a Stargate opener, but Eva, he doesn't have confirmation. Spores are on the way, thankfully. Oracle is zooming across the map. We do have 2 queens at the natural, so Eva is in position. He shouldn't be losing too much. The Oracle is pushed back. Oh, Eva being active with these Lings, catches one of the Adepts, almost gets a second. He's going to attempt to delay the third base, but just a little bit too slow. Krystianer does get his sword up and running, saves the probe. And he's getting into his triple Oracle opener. We have 2 Oracles to harass across the map. We have 1 Oracle to defend back at home. Eva, can he keep up? As the Oracles head towards the natural base, the Spore isn't quite ready yet, but there we go, it does finish up in time. The Oracles are zoned away. So far, really good movement here out of Eva, as he is able to keep up. Behind this, Krystianer working towards Forge and a Twilight Council. This is looking like +1 and Blink. Could be +1 and Charge, to be fair. Could be that as well. As the Oracles are still looking for damage, but no, Eva keeps up at every turn. Does lose 1 drone at his third, but only 1. As Eva's working on his Roach Warren. A little bit of an earlier Roach Warren. Typically, the standard timing is at 5 minutes, and this was, I think, at around 4 minutes 30. A bit of an earlier Roach Warren going for that lair. And just focusing on saturating his bases. And Krystianer isn't going for Blink, he's going for Charge. So he should be working on Charge or Archon. And he can hit a pretty powerful timing with his first wave of Archons. Once he does get them. So for the most part, things are going to be settling down. I mean, I say settling down. Krystianer, he's still sharking around looking for damage. He's not really finding any. Oh my god. Once again, the Queens. Oh. We even have some very quick spores as well to keep those drones alive. 3 drones will go down in the main. Finally, Krystianer doing some damage. There's that gateway explosion. Charge about to kick in. There's that Templar Archives as well. So the way this works is we should be pushing out with the first 2 to 4 Archons and a massive wave of Zealots. It's going to be a very powerful timing here from Krystianer with this War Prism. And Eva needs to make sure he has enough in time. He's droned up quite well to 70. Like, he's on 3 base saturation. He's getting his 4th up and running, but he needs an army. He needs roaches. Ooh, as Krystianer, he's not focusing on a frontal push. He's actually going for harass instead. Up. Oh, as Prism is going to take a lot of hits. Oh, it's barely going to escape. Chance fuses are thrown down in time. At the same time, we do have a couple of Adepts slipping into the natural base. Krystianer trying to pull apart Eva. Oracle's getting ready to dive into the main as well. 5 drones do go down, and we can get even more. 7, 8 drones in total, even 9. The Eva is hurting. It's going to have to back off, re-drone. What's interesting is that, again, Krystianer, he was just a little bit more focused on harassing. He's just building up that army. That's a lot of High Templar. Oh my god! How many High Templar is that? 7! 7 High Templar get morphed in. Storm is on the way. Storm is on the way. We're just going to be banking up so much energy for that. The Immortal count getting higher and higher. Krystianer working on this death ball of an army. While that happens, Eva, he does go for a bit of a Roach counterattack. He's going for the Nexus. Oh my, ambitious. There's no shield battery. He can get it. And while he may get the base itself, oh, we do see Oracles just going for drone damage across the map. 4 more workers go down. Zealots go for a runway as well. Reinforcements will keep them at bay. This army is looking really vulnerable. 3 Immortals and High Templar are on their own. Eva, he knows. He sees. He wants that army. The base, they waddle into the mineral line and 21 probes go down. 24 workers. Eva, he gets the base. He gets the mineral line. He defends back at home. Eva, the Protoss player. Doing well with his Zerg. Is doing quite well. Again, punishing Krystianer for having a really tech-heavy army. Like, again, there's a lot of power in this army, but it's not very mobile, it's not very flexible. It's also quite vulnerable as well. Like, there's not a lot to protect it. So Krystianer being quite greedy here. Just wasn't able to keep up with the run-bys. Eva getting ready for a second wave. Now, the Revelation does have eyes on this army, so Krystianer's fully aware. He's getting ready for it. Now has Storm. Storm is done. We do see another Baneling run-by slipping in. 12 more probes go down. Ay. Krystianer, he's on the back foot. Zealot run-by gets intercepted. Oracles are pushing out. Prism moving out as well. Looks like Krystianer, he wants to do some damage across the map. Wants to be active. But at every turn, Eva is there to stop him. Delta going down again. These Immortals are looking very exposed. Banelings are rolling on in. And they're getting into the mineral line once again. Oh god, the base is going to go down. The base is... third base does fall, and Krystianer, he just can't really keep up. As I say that, we're getting to the point where... As another baiting runby comes in. Oh god. Oof. We're getting to the point where Krystianer's going to be forced all in. Like, Krystianer, his economy's in shambles, his bases are going down left and right. But what he does have is Immortals and Archons. If we look at the units lost tab, he hasn't really lost any. He's lost 1 Archon and 1 High Templar this game. Like, his army is just getting more and more powerful over the course of this. And if Eva throws away too much harassing, then Krystianer's just going to A-move him. And that's what's about to happen. Krystianer is getting ready for one big push, and this push, it's terrifying when it does move out across the map. Krystianer is basically being forced all in. And here we go. We have 7 Archons, 5 Immortals, and 9 High Templar. Jesus. We have more High Templar on the way. This is a beefy army, and Eva, can he hold on? Can he survive? He's going to need a surround. He's going to need a better angle. In a head-on fight, Krystianer is just going to roll over him. The Files are going to be buying Eva a little bit of time. God. Oh, Storm's once again just zoning him back. And it just may be too much. Banelings, they roll in, but they get stormed once again. Oh my god, Storm's just covering the entire Zerg army. Behind this, we had a Baneling run by. Sure, we're killing pros, but that doesn't matter. Not anymore. It's about the main push. Ravagers doing what they can. Zelts, they're getting into mineral lines. And yeah, just slow and steady. Krystianer, he's been able to build up this death ball, and Eva just cannot hold on. He cannot survive. 23 drones go down. The main army of Eva has already fallen at this point. GG gets called. And Krystianer, he fights back, taking down the current king of the hill. GG. Impressive moves out of Eva. Impressive moves, of course, just going for all these run-bys, these counterattacks, pulling Krystianer apart. But he was poking the bear. He was poking the bear, and then Krystianer, he came out, oh god, holding nothing back. Oh, with that massive Immortal Archon army, just rolled over Eva. And he's our new king. He's our new king. He is our new king of the hill. GG. GG, well played. And we are nearing the end. We're nearing the end of the broadcast. At that time, it flies by, puppy. It flies by. We've had a lot of games so far. We've had a lot of games. That was our 13th match. We have 2 more. 2 more games ahead of us. 2 more players. Who's left? Who will those last 2 players be? Oh boy. Oh, let's go. Well, I've got one of them. It's going to be a PvT between Krystianer and a Ukrainian Terran player. I believe he's on Team Starcom. Wonder if like people should be able to guess who it is from that. The predator becomes the prey. Protoss, it's crazy. Should have played PvP. True. Eva, why didn't you play your main race? Why did you off race, Papi? Why did you off race? Aye. Let's go. It's gonna be Papa Kaz. Papa Kaz is coming out. Oh god. We are getting ready. I have to double check. He's on Starcom, right? It's just... Let us double check. Yeah, he is. Lad is pretending to be on my side now. I finally won a game with Protoss. It took a couple of months. It took like what? Like half a year? Did take a game. Did happen. Shaking my head. Just catching up. Just catching up. 360 no scope psychology. Alright, and here we go. We are diving into our next game. We are diving into our second last best of one of the night, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have the Polish Protoss player, the Pig Polish Protoss representing Team Blazer, current King of the Hill. It is Krystianer. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Ukrainian Terran player representing Team StarCom. It is Kaz. Do I have this shade of yellow? Oh, it's not going to be pretty. Man, hold on. I'll get it sorted. I'll get it sorted momentarily. Until then, we are getting into our openers here. Krystianer actually looking for proxies, making sure that he isn't getting cheesed out. Did check here over on the left-hand side, is checking the center of the map as well before he goes for his probe scout. Meanwhile, Kaz is setting up for a racked expand. Only a single gas opener, so more economic here out of our Terran player. Oh, hold on. As I think I have the shade we're looking for. Do I? Damn, there we go. Okay. Oh good, oh good. Now it looks nice. Now it looks nice. As yeah, Kaz is setting up for his racked expand, so again a very economic opener here out of our Terran player, nothing too crazy, working towards his factory as a follow-up. So I guess that's important to point out. This is not going to be a 3 racks by any means. It's not going to be a bio-heavy style, which is what we saw last time with Nicoract versus NightMare, if you recall. With Nicoract versus NightMare, so a much more standard follow-up here from Kaz. Back at home, Krystianer, his tech of choice is going to be a Stargate, so he's going for a Stargate opener. This should be for Phoenixes, or he could otherwise go for an Oracle first and then go for a Blink behind this. We'll see if Krystianer is one to go for Phoenix Colossus. Or Phoenix Colossi. Oh. I hope not, but it's possible. It's definitely possible. As we have our first Adepts rocking up across the map. Be just threading the mineral line here. So be keeping Kaz on his toes. Now when it comes to Papa Kaz and his playstyle, very similar to DIMAGA in a way. DIMAGA, he's very mid-game oriented, you know, he's focusing on getting a solid economy first and focusing on his army after. Kaz is very similar. Kaz, he's willing to lose SCVs, go down to 50 and just go for a super maxed army instead. It's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. He does it like no other. But we'll see if we can get there. As for now, yeah, Phoenix production has commenced. It is the beginnings of Phoenix Colossus out of Krystianer. A very solid composition. The Phoenixes, they give you map control, they allow you to harass across the map, they allow you to shut down drops, and to safely tech up into a robo into Colossus production. Very meta. Very meta nowadays. Behind this, Krystianer working on his third base. So very economic. As we do have Kaz going for that mine drop across the map. Widow mines are being sent out. Phoenix is not quite in position. They're over on the right hand side. Natural is looking a little bit vulnerable. There's that robot for Colossus eventually. And we do see Krystianer is able to react in time. But the probes! No! The Hellions! Oh my god. The Jukes! The 1-2 punch. As the Hellions come in, they take down 5 of those workers. Mine shots go up. And everything will be cleaned up. That could have been so much worse. That could have been so much worse. As Kaz is being cleaned up, the Phoenixes chase everything down. Only 6 pros went down. Jesus. I'm sure Krystianer, his life flashed before his eyes. It's like, ah! Did minimize his losses in the end. Still a lot of damage, to be fair. 6 probes, but that was for a medevac, for 2 Widowmines and 4 Hellions, so it was not for free by any means. And now Krystianer has map control. And he can get away with his 3rd base. That's the problem. Like, 6 probes isn't bad, but because it was a fast 3rd Nexus, then Krystianer, he can chrono out 3 probes at a time and make up for his losses. Ooh, interesting, as this isn't Phoenix Colossus. He had a Robo, yes, but he went into a Forge and a Twilight Council behind this. It is going to be Phoenixes and +1 charge lots instead. I would say this is a less risky maneuver to go for charge lots like this. It's a little bit more solid. Doesn't have as much of a power spike as Colossus, unfortunately. As Colossus, they just keep you safe and they allow you to go into a longer game, get a 4th base, get into disruptors. These charges, though, they can overwhelm and they can do quite well, especially when fighting in the center of the map. So we are getting into our gateway explosion. Behind this, we are still working towards a robotics bay. So it looks like we're going to be still working towards that splash damage, just going to be delaying it here in favor of charge lots. Meanwhile, back at home, bio production continuing. Additional racks is on the way. Kaz isn't going for a 2-base all-in. He did go for a 3rd CC, and that is going to be spotted here by Krystianer. He's going to be able to pick off a couple of SCVs as he dives all the way into the main. Oh, but he's being cornered. He's going to have to recall out of here, or he just finds away. Takes a couple of hits on one of his Phoenixes, but he will survive. We'll get out of there. 8 SCVs, a good amount of counter damage. Oh, has to be careful, as he barely doesn't lose a Phoenix. Meanwhile, Colossus production is now commencing. Did he just cancel the Colossus? Was it about to finish? Am I crazy? He's okay. He's throwing down two Templar Archives, working on Extend Thermal Lance, but yeah, he won't have a Colossus. Okay. He did cancel it, I know that much, but did he cancel it just before it finished? My eyes may be up. Look, it's late. As the charge lots are diving on forward, getting on top of the tanks, getting on top of the Marines as well. Good stutter stepping here from Kaz. He's going to be able to take down every single one of these Zealots, but the tanks went down. We bust into the mineral line. This is just becoming too much. 12 SCVs go down. And Kaz is going to be able to hold on, but that was already so much damage. And you know what? We have another wave. We warp in another round of Zealots. And Krystianer is snowballing out of control. Once again, getting into the mineral line. Opting to go for disruptors behind this. GG gets called. It's just too much. And Krystianer takes down the challenger, takes down Kaz, and gets his 2nd win. 2nd win for the night. GG. GG, well played. Whew. Krystianer really showcasing his skill there. And yeah, I was gonna say I think he canceled the Colossus so he had more resources to warp in, but he also spent those resources on the 2nd Temple Archive, so I don't know, not too sure about that one. Regardless, he had more than enough anyway. Kaz just didn't have enough in position there at his 3rd base. What I mean by that is that defensively there were no bunkers, there was no Sim City, the tanks were pretty exposed, and Krystianer was able to take advantage of the Terran player of Kaz and bring him down. And with that, we have 1 game left. Oh, and we're going back to the land of the Americas. Let's go. We are going back to the land of the Americas for our last and final best of 1. And it's going to be a PvP. A Protoss versus Protoss. setting things up. It's the last game. I can finally get some food after this. Ah, it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful. As we have one best of one left, and it is gonna be Krystianer versus Nice. Nice. Let's go. The best player in all of Taiwan gonna be going up against one of the pink Polish Protoss players. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready for the PvP to end it all. Just got tagged in Discord. Aye, aye, aye. And here we go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have the current king of the hill. With 2 wins under his belt, can he get a third? Can he end the night as the OSC King of the Hill for the 143rd edition of this tournament? Representing Team Blazer, it is Krystianer. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Taiwanese Protoss player representing Starlight Twinkle, the best player in all of Taiwan. It is Nice. Nice. Oh, sorry. Hold on. There we go. Nice. Not cards. Not cards. Had to remove that name. And oh, God, what is it with these Polish Protoss players? This was happening a lot over the weekend as well, because we were casting the Polish LAN, the Haas SE2 circuit. Krystianer is setting up for a 2-gate opener. Meanwhile, Nice is going for a gate expand. This was happening in the Tenacious Turtle Tussle as well. So I guess this is becoming a little bit more trendy. So what I'm getting at and why I'm a little bit surprised at how common this is becoming. On a map like Dragon Scales, because there's a ramp coming into the natural, it is very commonplace for Protoss players to be economic in PvP, to go for these gate expand builds, to go for a faster Nexus. The reason for this is because you have a ramp, because you have this kind of choke point, elevated area here as your natural, you can defend, you can be safe to expand and safe to be economic. But recently, a little players like Geralt, Krystianer, Trigger as well, they've been very fond of these 2-gate openers instead. They are safer in a way, but they also allow you to be very aggressive. They allow you to even go for a 1-base all-in and try to punish the economic opener of your Protoss opponent. So Krystianer has options. He can try to be aggressive, or he can just go for a later expansion behind this instead. And it looks like he's setting up for an expansion, setting up for a Nexus. Behind this, we have the pylon block into the cyber block. Krystianer, a massive delay on the Nexus of Nice. It's going to be a little bit supply block behind this. But again, he's delaying that Nexus. And again, it looks like Krystianer just wants to go into a base of his own. Or will he? I'm still curious. As Nice is forced to throw down a gateway. You can see, Nice, he has so much minerals banked up. Gas as well, he just can't spend his money. As the Cyber even finishes. Oh. Nice, he just wants a base. He just wants an expansion. There we go. Finally, the base is thrown down, but again, that was a massive delay here for Nice. Krystianer back at home technically has a faster base. Technically has a faster Nexus here instead. Yeah, despite the fact that Nice was trying to set up for a more economic opener, he won't really have that economic advantage. The other downside is that typically if your natural base is delayed in PvP, you throw down tech faster instead. You accept that, okay, you're going to delay me and I'm going to go for faster tech as a result. But Nice didn't do that. Nice, he didn't throw down his Stargate, he didn't throw down his Robo until after his Nexus. So because of that, he doesn't really have an advantage. He doesn't really have anything to flex over his opponent. just because Nice was so stubborn when it comes to expanding and getting his Nexus up and running. So because of that, Krystianer's actually in a really good position. He's in a really good position. He has an economy that's on par, if not better, than his opponent. He's got a Twilight Council. Blink is on the way. He's working on his third gateway. Everything's looking pretty good here for Krystianer. And the hallucination of Nice does confirm that. Meanwhile, across the map, it looks like Krystianer was also able to send out a hallucination and confirm the opener or the follow-up as well. So Nice will have access to faster upgrades with +1. He can also get into Immortal production as well, if he so chooses. Gonna be catching up in Blink. Krystianer not too far behind with his own Robo, thankfully. So if Nice went for like a random Dark Shrine, then he wouldn't win the game with DTs. We have detection. We have access to detection. As Krystianer's even working on his third base. And yeah, Nice is starting Immortal production. So with these Immortals, he's going to be able to make up for a Stalker deficit, which he does have right now, just because Nice has had more production for longer. I mean, Jesus, he's up to 12 Stalkers against the 4 of Nice, so these Immortals are really necessary to just make up for that gap in supply. Immortals, they do so well against Stalkers, but they're also a very defensive unit. We can see Krystianer just flexing his army supply, chipping away at the wall, takes down a Stalker. He's going to lose a Stalker of his own. Does try to dive on that Immortal, but alas, the dive isn't going to be worth it. Almost loses another Stalker. Krystianer's going to be careful. Nice went behind. Dark Shrine. And the reality is that Nice is behind. He's stuck on 2 bases. He's down an entire base. Dark Shrine is on the way. But Krystianer, he has detection. He has an Observer. As long as the Observer's in position, he should be okay. That is a big if, though. Is a big if, as it looks like Nice is setting up for a 2-base all-in. He's throwing down 2 more gateways, so that's going to be, what is that, 5 gates in total, alongside the Dark Shrine. As Nice moves out, Krystianer, he slips in with 2 Adepts. Oh, forces a recall. 2 Adepts can one-shot probes. A little bit mistimed with his shots, but there we go. Does get 2 probes in the end, and does force the army back. Nice, it looks like he does want to expand. He is moving out with that probe. Oof. As Krystianer picks off another Stalker. Behind this, Krystianer getting further ahead in the economy. Nice is still making probes. He's going to Maynard over once the base is up and running. Here we go. The DTs are waddling on in. What is our detection looking like? Krystianer has 1 Observer, and it's in between his bases. Oh, it's not here at the 3rd or the main. Probes are going down. DTs do one-shot probes. 5 workers going down at the 3rd base. We have the drop into the main as well. Despite the lead that Krystianer had, he's losing so many probes. Ay, ay, ay. Where's the Observer? The Observer does finally pop out. But not before 17 probes. And we even depower some of these gateways. Earlier, Nice may have been behind, but these DTs have more than made up for it. One of the DTs even survives. Ay, ay, ay. Krystianer, he's in a lot of trouble right now. Down in workers. Nice catching up when it comes to that 3rd base. Krystianer technically has a bit of a larger army, but Krystianer doesn't have any upgrades. He doesn't have any forges. Nice already working on +2. More probes are going down. Ugh. His finally going to lose that War Prism. There we go. +1 is now on the way. But nice, he's about to get +2. Well, it was a strong start. It was a strong start for Krystianer. Can he bring himself back into this? Is it his turn to throw down the Dark Shrine? Maybe. Maybe. As he's just reprobing. Getting his bases back up and running. As the Prism moves out, Nice is in position. Ay, ay, ay. No. Prism goes down. Krystianer gonna try and pull apart his opponent. He's going for a massive Stalker run by into the natural, but Nice does keep up. As Nice is distracted, we do have a Zealot run by on the left-hand side. There is a lot of potential with it. And Nice being pulled completely out of position. To be fair, he's going to be catching a lot of these Stalkers. Oh, Krystianer, he does bleed out a lot of Stalkers, but at the same time, he does get some economic damage done. 6 probes go down. Forces the entire army of Nice back home. It's a good start. It's definitely a good start, but we can see that Nice, he's getting away with this in the supply. Krystianer continuing to be as active as he can be. And hey, he's got +1. He does have +1. He does have a higher Stalker count as well. And try to outmaneuver his opponents, but god, there are just units all over the place to scout, to see this, to spot this. As Krystianer once again tries to bypass the army. We can see Krystianer is closing the gap in supply. He's trying to. As Nice is keeping up on both fronts. I guess the other big thing, of course, is that Nice's army is pretty terrifying. He may have less Stalkers, but he makes up for that with Archons, with Immortals as well. One of his Archons does get sniped, to be fair. The Zealots, they just keep running around each other, trying to keep up. Now, with the mass amount of Blink Stalkers, Krystianer, he can pick up these units. Nice! He overextends here with a portion of his army. He does lose 2 Archons and a Sentry for free. Uh-oh. We need that to happen again. If that happens again, Krystianer, he can take a main fight. But Nice, he's just sending everything across the map, consolidating his army. Krystianer is going for a base trade. Yeah, he knows that he cannot fight the army head on. We're going for a base trade instead. Prism does go down. Units are being split off, heading towards the 3rd base, towards the natural. Boys are being pulled. They're going to try to evacuate, but they run into the army. Krystianer has to make sure not a single probe survives. Every probe goes down. There is no way out. Behind this Nice, he takes down the natural, he takes down the 3rd, and he's turning back around. He doesn't like his chances in a base trade. And there we go, Nice. He recalls back home. He recalls half of his army. He's setting up a surround. We need to recall Krystianer. We need to get out of here. As the Stalkers can escape, but the Zealots and the Immortals can't. Goes for the Force Field. But Nice, he's breaking back into his own main. The Immortals of Krystianer go down. Only a handful of Stalkers survive. GG gets called. And Nice will take down the King. The King has fallen. Long live the new King of the Hill. At the very end, Nice. GG. GG, well played. Nice, able to just, yeah, hold on to that crown or take that throne at the very end, become the last king of the hill for the tournament. GG. Well played. Well played. For those wondering what that means, he doesn't just make some money, but Nice has the option to be the first player, to be the starting player in next week's OSC King of the Hill. Nice has the option. GG. Oh. GG, well played. Oh. Aren't just setting up and sorry just replying to a message, but with that, GG, well played. Congratulations to Nice, not just Nice, but all of the champions today, all of the kings today, as we had quite a wild tournament, a lot of really fun matches, a lot of really explosive games as well. We can take this moment actually to have a look at the entire bracket. One moment as we set that up. Damn, here we go. It was a pretty long tournament. 15 players. 15 best of ones were upon us. And it all started with NightMare. If you were here, then you know. The reign of terror, the NightMare, it just didn't end. NightMare went on a massive win streak at the start of the tournament. 7 wins in a row. He took down Skillus, Mixu, MeomaikA, YoungYakov, CuKu, Demi, and NightPhoenix before the NightMare ended. The sun rose as Nicoract took him down in a crazy TVP. Very impressive result out of Nicoract to bring down NightMare when he did. Then that's when we had more of a back and forth. That's when DIMAGA came out and shut down 2 different styles of mech. We had Battle Mech, and then we had CC Mech. That was dubbed in the chat from HonMonO. Shaking my head. We had Trifax. We had Eva come out of nowhere with the Protoss with the steel chair and just knocked DIMAGA down. It was crazy. So Eva with his off race did do what so many others couldn't, and he did knock down DIMAGA. And then Krystianer started his own run, and then towards the very end did have Nice as well. So yeah, really, there we go. As we just refresh the page. Nice being our champion towards the end. So GG, well played, great. A solid day of StarCraft, a solid day of events. You do love to see it. And yeah, with that concludes our cast here today. Back to back, we casted ESL Open Cup Asia straight into OSC King of the Hill. It's 2 a.m. It is 2 a.m. here in Australia. It's very late. It's very it is very late here in Australia, so I'm looking forward to getting some food and maybe getting a little bit of rest as well. That is what I hope for. Meanwhile, if you enjoyed the broadcast, if you enjoyed the tournament, and if you're interested in supporting even more of these OSC events, this is an OSC funded tournament, by the way, and OSC, they do a lot for StarCraft. They host their mid-season playoffs as well and their end-of-year playoffs. And the reason why I bring that up is because OSC also have a way to support them. They have a My Cause. At the end of the year, there is going to be an annual SC2 championship at the very end of the year. I love this graphic, by the way. you can see the champions from all the previous years. Can I get a zoom on this? Hold on. Do we have the technology? Oh, let's go. 2013, it was Pig. 2014 was Gumiho. 2015 was Solar, followed by Björn, Neeb, Solar again in 2018, Cure, Clem, Zest in 2021, and Max Pax in 2022. Oh, that looks so cool. Of course, we don't know what he looks like, but he's got his Danish flag behind him. Actually looks pretty sick. And we're going to have a new champion this year in 2023. And if you want to support the annual championship for these OSC events, for the OSC tournament, there is a My Cause. It's very similar to, like, I don't know, Kickstarter or GoFundMe, for example. So if you're interested, you can donate to this tournament. I believe there are more details here as to what the event is and, of course, where the funds are sent. So yeah, It's up to you, of course. Up to you completely. I'll post a link in the channel if you're interested. So if you do want to go that one step further, if you want to support this StarCraft event, this annual championships, then you can do so over on my cause. Otherwise, the least that we can ask of you. Already spoiled who wins. It's gonna be you. Eilte. So again, you can support it monetarily if you want. Otherwise, the least we ask is to watch the event, to tune in. The annual championship is usually covered by Wardy. I believe Wardy is the main caster for that tournament. Because it's a really long tournament, sometimes casters like ourselves, the CranKy Ducklings, or Chicken Man, or Dave Testa, sometimes we'll cast like some of the earlier rounds, like the group stage, or nothing. There's no group stage, but like some of the earlier rounds, like the round of 32 or the round of 64. Sometimes we come in to help support and help cast. But for the most part, the finals, the main event, is going to be held over on Wardy's channel, so you can check it out there. Zest does not look impressed. Oh, never. CC mech, exactly. 14-hour stream again? Deal. No. I'm done, Buffy. I'm done. But yeah, from here, Krystianer Ronaldo. Exactly. Yeah. I meant to say he doesn't have any upgrades. Is what I meant to say. OP. I misspoke. But yeah, with that, we're done. We are done here for this evening. We're done for this day. But there's more StarCraft to come. If you're interested, if you are still not satiated and you want some more StarCraft, ESL Open Cup Europe just begun. Technically, we could cast it. Technically, I could go over to Europe and find a series, and we can keep casting, but but it's 2 a.m. Buffy. It's 2 I would like some sleep. I would like to sleep. Sleep is okay. It's pretty good. So if you want to check out ESL Open Cup Europe, then you can watch that over on, I think, Wardy, Rotterdam, Zombie Grub, Steadfast. There's plenty of English casters covering that tournament. So yeah, check it out. What I will be doing as I go to bed, when I wake up in 8 hours from now, the CranKy Ducklings, we're going to be live. The CranKy Ducklings are going to be live once again in 8 hours for ESL Open Cup Americas. We're going to be live for the Americas. We typically sleep for the Europes, and we're awake for the Americas. There you go. That's typically how we do things. Every now, like, we've casted ESL Open Cup EU once before. I think it was a replay cast. I think we did a replay cast. I'm tempted to maybe we can do a replay cast later on in the week. Maybe. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, until then, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for the support. Check out, of course, the OSC My Cause if you're interested in supporting them. Also check out us, the CranKy Ducklings. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on Discord. All things CranKy Ducklings. There it is, socials in the chat. All cast and no sleep makes light VIP a dull boy. Exactly. Veg is good. But yeah, you can follow us all over the place if you're interested. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be live again on this channel in 8 hours. 8 hours from now, after we get some sleep, we're going to be live with ESL Open Cup Americas. So we got you covered there. You can also support us on Patreon, !Patreon in the chat. All the money that we make on Patreon goes towards our tournaments. It goes towards things like the Sparkling Tuna Cup, the Grand Platypus Open, and the Tenacious Turtle Tussle. You can see our goal just under Nice's name. Our goal is to reach 300 USD a month. We're halfway there. We are halfway there. Right now, 300 USD is how much we spend on tournaments every month. And half of that is now supported and funded by the community. So thank you. Thank you so much. It helps. It does help. Thank you so much. Once we do eventually, at one point, get fully funded, then we're going to be hoping to grow our events from there, you know, turn them into more regular weekly events and grow the prize pool and pay out top 4 instead of just top 2. That's our goal, at least, our goals over on our Patreon, so you can check that out if you want. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. If you want some more OSC King of the Hill, it's a weekly tournament. Every single week, we have OSC King of the Hill. Sometimes it's on this channel, sometimes it's on Wardy's channel, depending on who's available and all that good stuff. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for your support. We'll see you guys in 8 hours for some more StarCraft. Until then, gonna go get some food and gonna get some rest. See you next time. Bye.